Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Movement Radio. I am Chip Hazard.
I'm Talon Williams.
And I'm Roger Sierra. Sorry about that. Today, it's gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna do a couple more things. We got a lot to talk about, hopefully. But today I was gonna start with I guess, a good am I the asshole question. This one's a little bit older. This one happened in the middle of the pandemic.
A good am I the asshole? Okay.
Yeah. So this one is, am I the asshole for proposing to my girlfriend with a video game relic instead of a ring and refusing to buy a ring after? All right. My girlfriend and I met in a Skyrim meme page in 2014 and have been together for 6 years. Last week was our anniversary, and I decided I wanted to propose. Since we met via Skyrim, I thought I would promise. No, I just meant to say propose. I thought I would propose with the Amulet of Mara, which is the symbol that someone is ready for marriage in Skyrim.
Okay.
She doesn't really wear jewelry or anything and has never really shown me a ring she likes when we've talked about marriage. So I thought it'd be sweet to have something that brought us together. I set up this whole picnic with our favorite things, and when I proposed, she looked sad and asked about a ring. I told her I thought the Amulet of Mara was sweet because we met via Skyrim. The other day, she sat me down and said she thought the amulet was very sweet and she liked it, but she wanted to go ring shopping. I told her I had already bought the necklace and I didn't see any reason for a ring since I didn't propose with one. She said she appreciated the sweet gesture, but she really wanted a traditional ring. We got in an argument and it's been tense the last few days. Am I the asshole?
Okay. So I get the gesture. You met via Skyrim. You gave her the amulet and all that. But she has now said, "Hey, this is a super sweet gesture or whatever." But I really think, we need to go kind of the traditional route and do the ring thing. And for him to now, after she's voiced that, to say, "No, I'm not doing that because I've already done this other thing," I would say, yes, I think he's being an asshole. Maybe he's not always an asshole, but in this instance, I personally think, yes, he's being the asshole.
Yeah, I think Chip pretty much nailed it on the head, like everything. Like, okay, so you guys came together because of something that you love. Okay, Skyrim. In this case, it just happened to be Skyrim. And even though it is a good gesture or I guess it means something to him because it was how you guys first connected. And I think maybe in her mind, she was expecting more of like the traditional ring at first, right? But if he'd have said, "Hey," if he had said something like, "Hey, I don't have the money to get you like a really good ring or anything like that, but I got you this instead," then I think she may have been like, not because I don't think she's an asshole in this situation. He's definitely an asshole because of the aftermath of what happened. I think in jest, it was a good gesture, like what Chip said. But I feel like as soon as she told him, "Thank you, I appreciate it. It was sweet of you, but I want a traditional ring. I want the traditional thing." If you want to do a Skyrim themed wedding, cool. But she wanted to do the traditional thing with the ring. And for him, after knowing her wants at that point, and he refuses to do that, money aside, yeah, he's kind of the asshole in this situation.
So I want to play the devil's advocate on this situation.
Go ahead.
I agree with you guys, but I'm 50-50 with it in the whole situation to begin with. But devil advocate, maybe he doesn't want to get a ring because, one, she said he said that she has never talked about it. Two is also the amulet is a representation of what connected him to begin with, but we don't know how much he spent on the amulet because that had to be custom made. They don't just sell amulets of Maras anymore. I mean, Skyrim has been out for 15 15 years, I think, or 14
20,
years.
didn't it? 20, isn't it? Didn't it come out in
No, Skyrim came out in the 2010s.
okay, about
I can't remember if it came
13,
out
14 years maybe?
when I graduated or after I graduated. Let me.
Yeah. Well, what there's Skyrim.
2011. Okay, so 13
Yeah.
years now.
13 years.
They haven't done another one since Skyrim.
Well, they did Elder Scrolls Online technically, but there's not been
Oh yeah,
there's not been a mainline Skyrim,
main title,
which is
yeah.
supposed to be the next one, but Bethesda decided to do Fallout 4, which was great, and then Fallout 76 was garbage.
Yeah, we don't talk about Fallout 76.
What was the game after that they did?
What are we talking about? The studio?
Yeah, Bethesda. Because they got bought by Microsoft and
Oh.
became garbage.
Was it Starfield, right?
Yeah, that one,
Yeah.
the one that nobody cares about anymore.
No Man's Sky Part 2, basically.
Yeah, but not as. I mean, it felt just like No Man's Sky the first time, but yeah. Good old Microsoft. But no. Aren't they doing the new Indiana? They did the new Indiana Jones game, or has it come out yet?
No, it hasn't come out yet, but they
Okay.
are doing the new Indiana Jones game that looks absolutely phenomenal. Let's just hope that the gameplay is as good as it looks.
So
Hey.
since
Oh,
Fallout, go ahead. All right, sorry. Since Fallout 4,
ahead.
they have done Elder Scrolls Online, which was successful and good. Then they did
It's
Fallout
still
76.
successful.
Yes, which we should probably play that when we all get time together.
Mhm.
Fallout 76, which was a disaster. Redfall, which you probably don't even remember that came out, but that was a disaster.
Oh, I do remember that.
That
I
I
think
didn't know
gameplay-
that was Bethesda.
Yeah, the garbage
Yeah.
vampire game was Bethesda.
Okay.
I never actually played it, but I watched gameplay footage online of it, and I was not feeling it at all.
Then they did Hi-Fi Rush, which is actually really good and underrated. I feel like that was another studio and Bethesda helped publish it, maybe, or
What game?
Microsoft.
What game was it? You said?
Hi-Fi Rush. It looks
Yeah.
like old school Newgrounds S style graphics, but obviously with the new engines and everything. So it's actually really good. If you should go watch some of the clips of it.
I've played it before. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
It's free. Yeah, it's free now.
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
According to this, it says Bethesda Softworks. The developer was Tango GameWorks.
Yeah, so they helped publish it technically, which makes sense. Then there was Starfield. So since Fallout 4, there has been 2 successful games, 3 horrible failures, and we're still waiting on Indiana Jones.
Wait,
So-
is Bethesda also getting the last Ronin game, or did that go to another studio?
I don't think they were ever linked to that game.
It was the one that Nickelodeon usually hires for their
was it high res,
something like that.
high rise, something like that.
I think it's high res. I think you were right.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
The video
Wow,
game
awesome.
is being. First of all, that's not the video game. That's the comic book. THQ Nordic. We were wrong. THQ Nordic.
Okay.
Black Forest Games it's in collaboration with Black Forest Games as well.
Yeah, so
hope-
they'll probably
but
be the
THQ is
actual.
gonna THQ is gonna be the
the
publisher,
publisher.
but the
Mhm.
developer is
Yeah.
Black Forest.
Yes, THQ Nordic, because THQ technically shut down. and then
Yeah.
got bought out by somebody else, and then THQ
Oh.
Nordic. So
Oh, Black Forest was the ones that recently they did the Destroy All Humans remakes.
yeah, they've
Okay.
done stuff for Nickelodeon too. They've done other Nickelodeon games and stuff.
Yeah.
Either them or THQ Nordic. I can't remember. It might have been Nordic that was doing Nickelodeon games as well.
Didn't THQ also do the
This is
AEW
diff-
game as well,
this-
or is that a different thing?
That's a different thing.
Okay.
Actually, they don't think Nordic did AEW Fight Forever.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
That one was done. Who the heck even did that?
Hold on, I'm looking it up now.
Ukes.
It was Ukes, but as the developer, but publisher was still THQ Nordic.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they published it, they just didn't develop it. But back to the story real quick. Like I was saying, the Amulet of Mara probably got it custom made, so it's probably expensive to begin with. Even if you got off of somebody off of Etsy, it still probably cost them a good penny. It is something that bonded them together, and I think his reaction, yes, was kind of stupid, but doesn't say his age, so he's probably a little bit younger. Um, I really wish it would say how old he was. So, I mean, he probably just had his feelings hurt for a second and came up with just a lash out. But there is an update, and
Okay.
it says, we have talked. I bought her a ring. Thank you for the messages and judgment. So I guess Reddit fixed him up there.
Well, here's the thing. Just because she doesn't talk about it doesn't mean she's not thinking about it. That's something that you also have to think about.
Well, they talked about marriage for a while, so I mean, at least bring
Right.
up the fact that you
Right.
you want a ring. If you say, "Hey, I want a ring," okay, I'll get you a ring.
Yeah, there is that, but there was the undertone of assholism in his update. Thanks for the judgment. If you didn't want people to judge you in any kind of way, you shouldn't have asked if you were the asshole. That's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
as soon
basically
as you
welcoming
say,
it.
yeah, because as soon as you say, blah, 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 am I the asshole? No matter whether you are or not, there's going to be somebody out there that's going to cut you deep and say, yes, you're being an asshole.
Mhm.
So,
Well,
yeah,
he was being an asshole a little bit. So maybe he did need an outside perspective to show him that he was being an asshole.
Yeah,
right.
we're not calling you an asshole. We're saying you're being an asshole. That's two completely different things.
Yeah. I guess consensus is asshole, but update wise, he corrected himself, so he matured a little bit, which is a good thing. So initial judgment, yes. Afterwards, maybe.
Right.
Jury is still out. We'll see if they're still together in 5 years.
Well, this came out 3 years ago, so hopefully they're still together.
We'll see if they're still together in 2 years.
Well, here's the thing: have they actually been married yet?
Well, that's another question too. Yeah.
Some engagements last 10 years.
Yeah.
Some engagements last longer than the wedding or the marriage itself.
Well, they were together since 2014.
2014?
Yeah. So, I mean, they were together for 6 years. So, I mean, hopefully they lived together during that time. Because if not,
it's an awkward conversation at the breakfast table.
Married but don't live together before being married. Like, how you gonna know how the person is?
Well, I will say that Jesse and we'd never lived together before we got married.
Me and Amy didn't live together before we got married either.
That's so weird. Like, oof.
I know. It was one of those, like, for Jesse and it was one of those weird things where, like, I wanted her to move in, but her parents didn't want her to move in until we got married. Like, they're super old fashioned. So, I had to respect that. But on the flip side, we've been married for almost 20 years. So,
yeah.
All right. I guess we'll move on from that to we're gonna start our weeks out. I'm trying to think. I didn't do anything this week. I really didn't do anything besides work. And Saturday I went to Cleveland and went to Books a Million, got me some pickups here. Let me see. I got Hormia, of course, gotta have my slice of life. But I also got what the fuck is that? Oh, it's right behind me.
Yeah.
Got Fullmetal Alchemist Special Edition #1.
Oh, nice.
Yes. They had, I think, the first 6 of these, and there's 13 volumes, I believe. I have to remember and look up. But no, I like it. I love this book, hardcover. Very nice, just in general. They had the full collection set of the paperback, but I'd rather get it in hardcover.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Other than that, I don't think I really did anything this week. It was a slow week. Obviously watched some anime here and there, but pretty much just caught up on chores and editing videos from Fanboy, which should be up all throughout this week for everybody.
Yes. I can't wait for those.
Yeah. We still got videos from ATL that we haven't posted yet, or from Con Nuga. So just be on the lookout for that, ladies and gentlemen. What about you, Chip? What about your week?
What
What
videos?
what are we missing from
The
eight?
fan
Yeah.
the fan videos that we did? The day 3 videos that we shot?
Oh,
I was like, dang, like there's a lot of
Yeah,
ATL videos already.
the fan in the right, like when we got the celeb interviews and all that out already, but I'm talking about like the fan interactions from uh especially the third day when we was asking the guests and attendees questions.
okay. I'll have to go back through. I thought I
Yeah.
posted those in one video, but I'll have to go back through and see that.
Yeah.
Uh, so, but no, my week was super slow as well. I was sick most of the week. I had like a really severe sinus infection, to the point that my nose, uh, was like pouring blood for like multiple times on different days. Like the worst nosebleeds I've ever had in my entire life. It was terrible. And then on Thursday, I had to return the rental car, pick my car back up from the shop, which I'm so thankful to have that back. On Thursday, also went to Books a Million in Cleveland and picked up some stuff. I got some. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was me.
Yeah, no, it was like it's like you left and came right back in. Uh,
Okay, that was so weird.
yeah. Um, but so like I was saying on Thursday, I also went to Books a Million in Cleveland, because it's the closest one to where I live. They took the one in Chattanooga out completely for whatever reason. But I went and picked up some stuff. Most important, I picked up these comic book frames to hang my autographed comic books on. These things are perfect, perfect size for comic books, and they're only $4.99. But if you buy 5, you get the 6th one free. So bank on that.
Right.
Then I also picked up. Oh, where is it? Here we go. The Sinestro, the
Sinistro.
McFarlane Collector's Edition Sinestro. I've been waiting on this to come out for. I think they announced it like almost a year ago. Uh,
Yeah, it was summer of last year, I believe.
yeah, so I picked that up. Super excited about that. I plan on here very soon starting to do uh toy unboxings again. I counted, yeah, the other day, and I've got probably 40 unboxed action figures sitting right here. There's 2 stacks of them this tall that I have not unboxed yet. So very soon the unboxing and reviews will come back. But while I was sick last week, I binge watched a ton of Dragon Ball Super, um, because they just put the English dub out on Crunchyroll the exact day that they announced Toriyama's passing. So I thought it would be apropos to binge watch some Dragon Ball Super for that. And I am right now, they just finished the um the Destroyers tournament. Uh so that was pretty cool.
Cool. Cool.
Yep. So what about you, Talon? How was your week?
Hectic. Very, very hectic. We of course Monday we recorded the last Monday we recorded the podcast. Tuesday we did the interview with John shit.
John? Yeah.
John. Yeah, John. So why I was thinking Jake for somebody. It was John.
No.
Yeah.
John
We did it.
Holland.
We did the interview with John Holland. Had a great interview with him. Wednesday, Wednesday, well, actually, really that Monday, Tuesday, that Tuesday and Wednesday, I've been cleaning up around the house. I got a big old dumpster come. I had a big old dumpster come to the house. Big old dumpster's 12 feet. Got a whole bunch of stuff put in it. It's already it's as of right now, it's the 18th as of this recording, and it's already filled. And I got a couple more things I'm gonna try to get in there. That's a whole different debacle and a whole other different situation. Let's just say I'm never going to use this company ever again. I know, right? And then this past Thursday, I literally wasted 83 minutes of my life because I had to go to traffic court.
Would you time out? You can't just gloss over that. What'd you do to have to go to traffic court?
Okay, so back in January, when I didn't have employment, like what you guys said, I was working for DoorDash at the time. So what happened was back in January, I still didn't have employment. So I was door dashing at the time. Well, I just dropped Malachi off at school and I'm on my phone. Never mind you, I'm at a stoplight. I was driving, I was at a stoplight, and I lifted up my phone to look at it. I clicked to start my dash, and then I drove. Like I looked, make sure nothing was going. I drove. All of a sudden, I hear blue light. I hear blue lights. I see blue lights. I'm thinking, what? I didn't run through the stop sign. I'm not speeding. Like, what's going on? So I pull over off on Cross Street, and this cop comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, sir, hey, how you doing today?" I'm like, "I'm doing good, I guess." Like, what did I do? He goes like, "Well, sir, we saw you with your phone in your hand." Like, what? And he was like, "Yeah, it's the hands-free law. So it's Georgia's hands-free law. You're not allowed to drive with your phone in your hand." I'm like, technically I didn't have it in my hand. I mean, I was stopped at a red light. I was looking at my phone to click, and then I sat my phone down and then drove. Like my phone was not in my hand when this guy pulled me over. And he was like, "Well, nevertheless, we saw you on your phone. I need your license and registration, please." Okay. So I handed it to him. He took it back there and he goes, "Okay, here's your license back." And he gave me this little adapter that you stick to your car. Basically, it's just to hold your cell phone while you're driving. And I was like, "All right, well, I appreciate it, thanks." And he was like, "Oh, by the way, this is your court date. You got to appear in traffic court March 13th." And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking, okay, I can either pay it online, or I can just go and just take care of it. The officer said, if you present this to the court, then they'll just write it off scot-free. You ain't got to pay for nothing, right? I get there and then remind you, I'm supposed to be there at 4:00 for the thing, right? So, yeah. Okay. Anyway, so I'm supposed to be there at 4:00 for this court date, right? And I figured it's a hands-free, thing. Like it shouldn't cost that much. I'll just pay the fine, whatever. It's no big deal, right? $75 and a point on your license.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, I'll just go to court and get it taken care of, right? And I'm thinking, okay, if they give me a certain time, and again, I don't know. I worked for a company for 6 years, and I thought I knew something about the law, but I get there and I'm under the mindset of like, okay, they gave me a certain time to be there. I'm thinking, okay, get in, get out, no big deal. It's not how it works.
Nope. They go by alphabetical order by the last name.
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, they go by weirdly enough in Catoosa County, they go first come, first serve, which I thought was interesting. But I got there right around 3:30 ish, something like that. And I got there at 3:30. It didn't start until 4:00. I didn't leave until 5:13. And it's literally like, okay, you have to wait. You literally have to watch everybody else do their thing. And then one person that the judge talked to was literally up there for 20 minutes. I was like, like this. It's like, well, if you want to do a jury trial, we can do that. I'm like, why would anybody want to do a jury trial over a traffic ticket? Like, I don't know. It was one of them things. But that happened. Didn't have to pay a fine. They dismissed it. They just said, as long as I have that device in my car, everything should be fine. So yeah, so that's what happened. I wasted so much time there, and I was like, damn, because I had something planned for me, the wife, and the kids like later on that day, but I didn't realize it was going to take that damn long at the traffic court. So yeah, so that's 40. I'm sorry, that's 83, 84 minutes of my life I'll never get back again. So we just went to the Dragon House and ate ate sushi and then came home. So, and then I had to get back on the job Friday and had an interesting debate at work on Saturday. Very interesting. One guy said that Jay-Z was the greatest hip hop artist at all time, and he said that there was no competition for him. To which I said, bruh, Jay-Z's not the greatest of all time. He's not even the greatest in New York. He ain't even the greatest in Brooklyn. He looked at me and he goes, I bet you can't name me 20 rappers better than Jay-Z. I rallied off about 35, 36. And he was like, no, man, that's not true. I said, where are you from? I'm thinking, okay, he's from Brooklyn. He's from New York, right? He's from Sarasota, Florida. I'm like, are you kidding me? All right, cool. So it is what it is on that one. But, yeah.
Anybody who says Jay-Z is the greatest of all time has no idea what actual hip-hop music is.
Jay-Z's...
You can't... Jay-Z was never the greatest of any year he had a hit.
Nope.
Ever.
When did Jay-Z start? Was it 2000? 94? 94?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
He started literally during Biggie and Tupac's era.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then after Biggie and Tupac died, which was 96 and 97, 1998,
DMX, Busta Rhymes.
DMX, Busta Rhymes, Method Man, because Method was kind of getting him. Method and Red were both getting into their primes at the time. 99 and
DMX and Busta Rhymes at that point were the top two guys.
Oh yeah. And then in 2000, 2001, that was like the resurgence, like the rise of Eminem, because Eminem was getting up there, especially after those two albums. Hell, even Nelly was putting out better albums than Jay-Z.
Yep. They both were fighting for diamonds, plats at that point.
Yep.
2003 was 50 Cent's year.
Yep, easily.
2004 to 2005. I mean, was it Kanye?
Kanye's first two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be either Kanye or Wayne.
Well, Wayne was right after that.
Wayne was right after
Carter 2 was 2005, right?
No, Carter 2 was 2006.
Oh, was it 6? Okay.
Let me look that up real quick because I want to make sure I'm not giving you false information. The Carter 2 you said? I want to say that was 2006. Carter 2. I might want to put the Carter 2 instead. Okay. No, it was 2005. You're right.
Yeah, okay. That's
2005. Yeah. Because that's why I thought it, because he dropped Hustler Music in January of 06. That's why I thought it was 06. Okay. Yeah, because the big song on that was Fireman. That was on that record.
Oh, for what? Carter. Wait, for Carter 2?
Carter 2.
Carter 2? Hustler Music.
Yeah. Where the hell? I don't want to look at Birdman discography. What the fuck?
Yeah, you do.
Hell no, I don't.
What you talking about? That's the greatest Cash Money millionaire there is.
Y'all want to believe that? And then Carter 3 was the one that had Lollipop, a Millie, Got Money, Miss Officer, all them, and that was 08. Yeah, so 08, Wayne was still on top, and even in between there, you had T.I. coming into his own. You had, even though, I mean, we talk back and forth about game.
I was like 2001 might have been probably been the closest he would have been.
Closest,
also,
yeah.
But that also was the year Ludacris came out.
Yeah. And T.I. also, no, it wasn't 2000. T.I. wasn't until 2007. No. He had, when did 24s come out? Was it 07?
I mean, but
it was earlier, but his best stuff didn't come out until about.
His best stuff didn't come out like underground. I'm sorry, Urban Legend. Yeah, Urban Legend didn't come out until like 06, 07. Yeah, so because it was right around that time when like the early days of trap music, when it was T.I. and when it was Gucci Mane. God, who else? Jeezy was Jeezy. Yeah, Jeezy.
So 2006, my fault, would have been T.I.'s year. In 2009 was Kanye again. 2010 was Kanye still. So, um,
I just want to know when was Jay-Z the hottest rapper alive?
Buddy said he was the best rapper alive with only having like 2 hits per CD.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, having singles and having hits are two different things. You know, you could put out as many singles as you want, but if none of them hit, I mean, but the thing is, even the songs that were his hits, they had other artists on them that made the song better.
I
Like
mean,
you
Hard
think
Knock Life might be the only one,
maybe,
Yeah.
but that was also produced by Kanye. So
yeah, there you go. Even Watch the Throne in 2011 when it was Kanye and Jay-Z. Kanye heavily produced a lot of the tracks that, if not all the tracks that was on there. I think he may have had a couple of co-executive producer credits on a couple of, there may have been a couple of other producers on a couple of other tracks, but Kanye was the main producer of the album. And it didn't matter whether it was Otis, in Paris. Like, I mean, Kanye was the one, man. We were talking. I was, I get to, while I work in the dish pit, when you're in the back of the house, like, there's really not a whole lot going on as far as like music, because you don't hear the music that's out there that the customers hear. So you bring your own little portable like speakers and stuff like that, and it's literally, we're so far apart that the line cooks can have their own music playing, and then me in the back, I can have my own music playing. The kitchen has their own music playing, so it's like a barrage of music going everywhere. Depends on what you want to listen to. And I was listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the whole album, there, and I was like, man, like, I haven't heard this in God knows how long. I'm just gonna listen to the whole album. And it got to where it got to the part of All the Lights was on, and that's when he came around the corner. The guy that I'm talking about came around the corner. He was like, "You listen to Kanye?" I'm like, "What's wrong with Kanye West?" He goes, "Have you heard what he's been doing in the meat crowd?" I'm like, "Bro, I don't give a shit what he does on his personal time or what he does, whatever. His music is still awesome, dude." And Roger, you are right. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is probably his best album.
it's probably from beginning to end. It's probably not only his. It's not his best produced album. It has the best lineage of music composed from start to beginning. Graduation. But Fantasy is probably his best lyrical, soulful, whole.
That's what I mean. Like, lyrically, it's his best. Oh, production wise,
it's Graduation.
It's Graduation. Yeah. Production-wise.
Yeah,
Really,
I think so.
I honestly, I haven't really heard anything after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Like, I didn't listen to Yeezus. I didn't listen to Danja. Like, I haven't listened to anything like afterwards.
You notice to the Yay Wyoming or songs.
I don't think, like I said before, anything after My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, I haven't really listened to a lot.
False.
Say that one more time. Watch the Throne. Yeah, but that was Watch the Throne was 2011. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was 2009.
Nope.
You broke up a little bit. What'd you say?
2010.
2010. Okay. Yeah. So I guess 2011 would be the last Kanye. Yeah, but Jay-Z was. I mean, here's the thing. Like I said before, I don't think Jay-Z is. I don't think he's the worst of the worst. But if, like I said before, I named about 37 rappers in a row that I thought were better than Jay-Z, but, to my credit, I think a lot of, even people who are like, and I feel like are like underground, like I think Immortal Technique's a better rapper than Jay-Z, you know what I mean? And people don't like that, but it's like, why? Because he's not mainstream and not, married to one of, if not the biggest, pop stars of all time. Like, all right, whatever,
She's also overrated.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's a conversation nobody wants to have at this point.
I do it all the time at work. Oh, my chest.
Yeah. Sorry that went on a little bit longer than what it's supposed to. I just, sometimes you got to speak truth on this podcast, so that's what I did.
No, you're good. Is that the end of your week?
Callan.
Huh?
Was that the end of your week?
Yeah, that's the end of my week. Sorry, I was trying to get this fucking bottle to come off for some reason. I got stuck. I was like, shit. Sorry. His audio is also going in and out. I don't know if it's my headphones or his microphone. I don't know what it is. It might be the connection. I don't know what it is. But anyway.
All right.
But
Well,
that's the end of my week for now.
You're good. All right. From there, I guess we can move on to our anime review. Did everybody watch DID and Solo Leveling?
I watched DID and I didn't get a chance to watch the last episode of Solo Leveling, but I'm caught up because I kind of cheated a little bit and read ahead. I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, but kind of read ahead a little bit. I watched episode 10, didn't watch episode 11. So I should have had to do. I'm sorry.
Not good. So Delicious Dungeon still hitting hard. Week's episode.
What the hell is going on?
What happened?
Hold on.
All right. Guess we're having some technical issues. Probably my connection. I don't know what's going on. But no, this week's episode, Delicious Dungeon, was battle against the Red Dragon. Really good episode overall. And so we had our boys searching for the dragon, and it found them before they were able to find it. I don't know how a dragon sneaks up on you.
Yeah, right.
But they had us Marcel was waiting to collapse its building on top of it, which they did, but the dragon decided to do his best Hulkamania and no-sell the shit out of it.
The dragon was red and yellow in a sense.
What was it? Chilchuk and Laos were right underneath it, and Laos punches over them but doesn't see them and starts moving over. And then Laos's stupid sword bug thing. Then the dragon's like, oh wait, there's somebody here. But the boys sort of got separated with each other, with rubble falling on top of Senshi and Chilchuk, and Laos was able to get his sword back because of Senshi right before some building collapsed on him. And then Laos runs up to Marcel. They make a change of plans. Marcel uses an explosion to boost Laos up to the dragon where let me go back a little bit. Chilchuk was managed to actually stab the dragon in the eye and blind it on his left side.
Yep.
So
with Senshi's cooking knife.
Which is actually made out of piece of the metal, and I forgot what it was.
It wasn't adamantium.
No.
It's not the same as
it started with an N, didn't it?
I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember what I think it started with indium or something like that, or something. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but I know what you're talking about.
But yes, this thing was actually able to pierce the dragon, but it was a cooking knife, so it was only like that long. But Chilchuk managed to stab the dragon in the eye, blinding on the left side. So then Laos makes a plan to surprise attack the dragon on the left side. He ends up jumping into the dragon's mouth, and he lets it bite his leg just so he can dangle from his mouth and stab it in an inverse scale right in his throat. In the process, literally getting his leg detached from him, but killing the dragon. Marcel, she continues to admit how not good she is at healing magic, but she put this dude's leg back on. So she said, go ahead.
No, so I watched it with Kai today because Malachi loves it, and we were watching it, and like what you just said, Marcel, she's not really too good at healing magic. She'll heal you, but it's like she heals Chilchuck, and Chilchuck just starts rolling around, writhing in pain. And then she's like, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" And again, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, "Oh, he's just going to be in pain for a little bit. Are you ready?" And she's like, I don't know if I want to." And then you just hear him screaming in the background. For whatever reason, me and my son thought that was the funniest shit, and we just started laughing our ass off at that moment. Even though Laos didn't really seem, like he was in any pain when she had detached. Literally, you have your leg detached from you, and he put on no problem. So, but yeah, sorry, I just had to throw that out there. Go ahead, continue. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. They defeat the dragon. Laos gets his legs put back on. There's a cool, nasty scar already.
Yep.
His leg itches. That's because the healing magic's working. It was rapidly attached, but at this moment, I can't remember if it was Senshi or Laos. No, it was Senshi who decides to immediately start technically descaling, also cutting open the dragon's stomach, so they can go inside of it, and they start cutting through because how thick the skin is, and they take turns pretty much just trying to disembowel this dragon, and they open his stomach sack. They don't find anything a Fallon in there. Then they take out the intestines. They don't find anything in there. Then Laos remembers that there's a sack where dragons keep all the stuff that they use for kindling, technically, because it's a sack to pretty much produce the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like hair and stuff like that gets in there because it can't be digested, so it just gets moved in there, which is a cool concept of how dragons' digestive system works.
Yeah.
But as they're searching, they find Fallon's staff, and they keep searching, and there's tons of bones and everything. And then the episode ends with Laos holding a human skull, and he's questionably asked Fallon, and then the episode ends. So obviously another cliffhanger. But overall, the episodes, I don't think there's been a bad episode of this show so far this season. There's not been a down episode. There has been slower episodes, but not in a bad way. More of a development episode here and there. But I think this one took more of the action approach, obviously, because they had to fight the dragon. But I don't know. I felt like it was quick. Like, I felt like the episode should have been longer. I don't know why. Maybe because there was just so much happening to begin with. I don't know if you guys felt the same way.
I definitely wanted more.
I definitely wanted, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I definitely wanted more. And then correct me if I'm wrong. Was this the first episode? Did they cook anything in this episode?
Mm-mm.
This was the only episode so far where there hasn't been a meal.
Let me think.
No, I don't think they did, because when he started cutting the dragon, my first initial thought was like, "Oh, they're fixing to eat the dragon," not knowing that they're in here trying to find Fallon. So it's like, hey, eating this dragon, if we do decide to eat this dragon, it's going to be way, way later. I do think, though, that because they haven't found Fallon, or there is a question as to whether or not the skull that Laos is holding is actually Fallon, and possibly, maybe, like what we talked about, because remember last week when I said, how do we know this is the same dragon? They tell you in the episode, no, there's that scar above his head, so you know that that's the same dragon. So, okay, so that theory's out of the question. So now the question then becomes, is this skull that he's holding, is it really Fallon? And if it's not Fallon, is it intricate? Is it important to the story as to who the skull is? And if it is Fallon, because remember what the goblin said, Mr. Shitstain or whatever his name is, he said something to the effect of like, if you're in the dungeon, your soul cannot leave your body. So the body is technically still there if the bones are still there. So is her soul still around? Can Marcel do something to maybe conjure up her spirit in some way if she has died? Like, there's so many different questions and variables that are coming in, to the topic, and it's like I literally wanted to watch more, but I do think though if they are going to continue to look for Fallon, they're gonna have to eat something, and I think you'll probably see them do something with the dragon in the next episode probably, or it's gonna switch completely. I hope it doesn't go too far to the left to where it's like it takes away from the impact of the moment of what we just witnessed. You see what I'm saying? But we'll see where it goes.
Yeah. The other thing about it, this is the first episode without any cooking. I was trying to think if they did anything before when the episode first started, but no. Nothing was done cook wise. But no, with my thought process is the skull isn't Fallon. They're going to find evidence of her being somewhere else or something else being done. But this is the 5th floor. The dragon's moved up some floors, so they go deeper down. Is she still in the dragon's lair when they first found it? When they first fought the dragons? My question.
See, that was my thought, is that she lost her staff when the dragon attacked.
Yeah.
So she's not able to do magic now, because we learned that with Fallon, she has to have the mana running through her staff. Or not Fallon, Marcel. Yeah. She has to have the mana running through her staff to be able to do magic. So
the mana thing is just showing how much mana they have, because they have to pretty much put it outwards. But when she was hurt and everything like that, she didn't have even enough mana to even like heal herself or do anything, because she was low on mana.
Right. So I'm wondering if that Fallon is actually alive, but she's deeper down in the dungeon and not actually wasn't actually eaten by the dragon. Now I say all this to say that I've not read any of the manga. I almost bought a bunch of it when I was at Books A Million, but decided against it.
I was the same way.
Yeah.
Well, because I know me, if I have it in hand, I'm going to read it, and I don't want to. The anime is so good, I don't want to ruin anything. I may go back and read it, after the anime, just to see the differences between the manga and the anime. But I don't want to ruin the anime for myself.
Right. But also, and see, and you brought that up about Fallon just a second ago, that when she was, because I think there was one other part where we kind of glossed over it in this episode, where Laos has a flashback of him and Fallon in the graveyard, and Fallon, Laos, it's somewhat attacked by this ghostly apparition, to which Fallon grabbed some type of a bow, a staff, something, and just swung it, and basically it hit Laos in the head. So people are like, and they basically said that the ring that this man is wearing has bound him to this to earth, or something along those lines. So even without her staff, she was still able to produce some type of magic, some type of, I guess, would magic be the right word in the situation? Because I mean,
she's a tone to necromancy, because she can see spirits and talk to them.
Right. So in that case, if we're going with that direction, because they did find her staff, and they also, like what you said at the end of the episode, Laos is holding the skull. We know in the first episode of this, she uses her staff to get everybody out of the dungeon, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But we never saw any of the aftermath of that. It just went, okay, Fallon uses the magic, sends everybody out of the dungeon, and then we start from there with the story. However, and I was thinking about this the other day too. Oh, I was thinking about this during the episode as well. How do we know that Fallon was actually digested, or she used another form of magic to escape the dragon? Like, how do we know that isn't the case? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree completely.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they take the story from here, though, and along with all the other side quest stories that are also involved in it as well, like the whole thing with elves and that that the goblins and everything like that, and see we're going there how the orcs play into it. I think we'll end up seeing them again at some point in the future. So, but yeah, as of right now, Delicious in Dungeons probably one of, if not the best animes of the first quarter of 2024 for me.
Yeah, it's still my number one so far for the year. People keep lying themselves and put Solo Leveling up there, but Solo Leveling did have a dud episode. Apparently, according to Chip, because I didn't watch 7.5.
It wasn't just apparently according to Chip.
I know. The Crunchyroll's fans said so themselves.
Yeah, dude, it was
say.
Yeah, the like to dislike ratio was like overwhelmingly disliked. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Son of Affection's been really good, but I know it's not getting major play because it's such a niche slice of life.
How are you I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off, but like how are you feeling as far as the progression of that series is going?
I love it so far. It's very, very consistent. It is a slow play, but it's a true slice of life where it's literally day by day or week by week sort of kind of story is just the daily life of this deaf girl and her development as becoming more, I guess, socially open and learning more things here and there. She's not as sheltered as she used to be, not as protected, not as she's in college. So she is growing up more, which I think is a really lovely story to begin with. But yeah, I think so far it's been hitting. I don't think it's had a bad episode either. It's had some slow ones, of course, because it's literally building a unique story. But overall, the characters are really great. The animation, the art style is really good. I love the fact that they do a lot of pastel, like watercolor for the backgrounds, or like moments in between to like emote, just like how it conveys my emotions and stuff like that, which I think is very unique. Haven't seen that.
Go to hell with your color seeing self.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be great for you.
I'll say pastel. I mean, pastels are more lighter colors anyway. That's when you get the canary yellow. Not the canary yellows. I'm so sorry. That's when you get the pale yellows and the off pinks and the carnation pinks and the lavender purples and the robin's egg blues and things. Sorry, my high school art teacher is talking to me in my head right now because I had to learn literally like 5,000 colors on the damn color wheel. Anyway.
But Chip can only see four of them, so.
Chip can only see four.
Mind your business.
No, I think that one's been good. Ninja Kamui has been really good. What else have I been watching? I think that's pretty much it. Those are four that I've been watching with Solo Leveling included in there. Trying to think. I watched High Card season 2, but just like season 1, nobody knows about it, and it won't be dubbed, unfortunately. So yeah.
What did you say? What High Card?
High Card.
Is it a poker anime?
No, it's a.
I've never heard of it. I don't know.
It's pretty much the story is these magic cards, like 52 cards, obviously in a deck, and they're all magical. They all give you a special ability, and they get spread out in the world after being collected and stored away from the evil family. But during the heist, they get spread out and just go everywhere on the world. And when we have our good guy faction, which is called the High Card, they're pretty much called High Card, and they're trying to collect all these cards and stop evil people from having it and everything like that. But there's some unique powers in general. Our main character dude has the ability to produce a gun, which is in Japan you're not supposed to have guns, but which is cool. But he also has the ability to like have infinite reload, so he can have bullets whenever he wants or anything like that. There's a guy that control fire. There's pretty much one of the evil people has the force power. They're able to control stuff telekinetically. Nice. There's a guy that has like the ability to make people do what he wants with his will, with his words and stuff like that. So it's
mind control, basically.
Sort of. It's more like dissonant whispers. Like he can speak to you and you're like it's just whispers in your ears and you either do it or you don't do it. So it depends on your willpower.
Okay, so MK Ultra. Gotcha. Um
No LSD.
no.
But no, it's just it's
So
very
does
unique.
the power of the card, like, or the ability that you have, is it based on the value of
The
the
card.
card?
No, it's just a card.
Oh, so like a two of diamonds could have more power than a king of clubs.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
because I think
the
our
powers are
main
just
character.
randomized throughout the 52
Yeah,
cards.
yeah. I think our main character dude cards like a 4 of spades or something like that. Something not major or anything like that. Um, one of the girls on the good guy squad, her card ability gives her an evil samurai spirit, more or less. Like she's able to control it to a certain point, but when she has to go into like use her ability or anything like that, at a certain point she can't control it and it just goes insane and it's very anti-hero. So it doesn't matter who's in its path, it'll attack you got a bad guy.
Is it kind of like the stand from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
No, like it's literally her. Like it literally it like possesses her. It takes her over.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not like it's a separate entity that's helping her. It's
Nope, it's her. It's her flipping a switch pretty much. Like
Gotcha.
Enchantress and Suicide Squad where it goes like does the hand thing and it flips over.
I got you. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. But no, like I said, I watched season 1 last year. I really, really liked it. Season 2's been good so far. I think that's really all I've watched consistently. I waited for some to like get a few episodes and then watch here and there, but those are the consistent ones that I've watched.
Yeah, for me it's Solo Leveling, Delicious in Dungeon, Unwanted Undead Nightmare, or Unwanted Undead Adventurer, which the newest episode of that was really good. I watched it today. 100% recommend it. It was really cool because so the main character Rent is in the he's rejoined the guild, and he's out doing different jobs for the guild, and he gets one from this like family that they're like the most powerful family in the world that they live, or maybe not the world, but in the area, the region that they live in. And he's told beforehand, be careful, because if they find out that you're a monster, they'll kill you or whatnot. And but he takes the job, and he's supposed to meet them at their compound per se. And he gets there, and there's a guard outside, and they've got like this garden, like a maze garden. And the guard tells him, look, hey, you've got to make it through this maze and get to the front of the house before they'll see you. And but if you make it through the maze, there's a reward, because they've got it set up to where like people just don't make it through this maze. And it's not filled with monsters or anything like that. It's apparently that hard. So he's going through the maze and everything, and he comes across what you would essentially think is the center fountain. And there's a lady sitting there drinking tea, and she asks him, hey, do you want to turn around and give up? And he's like, no, I think I'll continue on a little bit longer. And she's like, okay, well, if you want to take a rest, join me for some tea. So he takes her up, they sit down, and she goes to pour tea, and it's clear. And he makes the comment, hey, I think somebody forgot to put the tea leaves in this. And then she pours it again, and it's the color of tea. And she's like, oh, this is a magic teapot. It has the ability to recreate any tea that's ever been made. And so she pours him a glass of tea, And he takes a sip and he's like, "Oh, this is the best tea that I've ever had." And so they have this kind of little conversation, and she tells him one thing. Hold on, let me back up just a second. So when he's talking to the guard before he goes into the garden, he asks the guard for a piece of advice on how to make it through, and he said, um, "Let me think. Oh, just don't follow the sun. The sun's not going to help you." And he was like, "Okay, that's a weird piece of advice, but whatever." So then when he meets the lady and they have their tea and their conversation, she also mentions not to follow the sun. So he was like, "Okay, there's something really weird about the ability to see the sun and determine which way you're going in this particular garden." So he's going through, and then he notices he crosses over this one pathway and the sun like disappears completely. And he's like, "Oh, okay, what's going on here? Oh, this is teleportation magic." He takes a rock and he turns around and he throws it right back where he came from, and the rock just disappears. Uh so he figures out the secret to the garden, makes it all the way through, and lo and behold, the lady that he had tea with is the master of the uh it, I can't remember. I think it's Latora House is what they're called. Um
Mm.
and he's like, "Hey, I'm here for a job." And also the dude at the front of the garden said if I make it all the way through, I get a reward. And she's like, "Oh yeah, you can have any magic item in our house that you want." And apparently what this lady has been doing is she's been having people go into these labyrinths. So in this show, these dungeons, essentially, they pop up kind of like in Solo Leveling, but you don't have to have a key. You just have to
Mhm.
know the coordinates. they
Right.
they randomly pop up. So she has adventurers that work for her. They go in, they defeat these dungeons, and they bring her the magical item, and then she pays them for it. So she lets him choose any magical item of his choice. And so they go down into basically their vault, and she's showing him all these magical items, and they all basically look like toys. Like the first thing she shows him is a ball that once you throw it, it bounces indefinitely, like it never stops. And he's like,
It's
"Oh, that's
interesting.
yeah." He's like, "Oh, that's kind of cool, but how would I use that in a dungeon?"
Not only that, how does she get this item to stop bouncing if she knows it bounces deftly?
Well, once you grab it and hold it and then set it down without throwing it, it stops bouncing.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like that ball in Men in Black, the one that Will Smith accidentally touched and it goes all over the place.
Except for this just bounces stationary.
Right. Yeah, just
Yeah.
bounce stationary. Yeah.
So then she shows him essentially a blimp. Um, and she explains to him that it's a model of a blimp, uh, and they have these in the West. She doesn't say where, she just says in the West, and it's powered by steam. Um, and then she shows him the secret of this. It has a controller, but if you stare directly into the model or toy, uh, your mind can then control it, but it feasts off of your mana. Uh, so you can control it with your mind and send it like into the dungeon, but only so far because it depletes your mana pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Uh,
So it's like hey, I can do this cool thing with this device, but it's, oh man, I better have like super stats when it comes to mana, or I'm not gonna make it to wherever I want to make it to. It's gonna deplete me pretty quickly, basically.
essentially.
Hmm.
And then he bumps into like a pitcher that's a magic item, um, something else, and then he accidentally touches a piece of a golem, and the golem is kind of, it's a metal golem, but it's been deconstructed, and there's multiple pieces of it laying around. But when he touches it, it senses his mana, and then you see it kind of form into one golem, and then he ends up having to fight this golem because they forgot where they put the shut off device. So every golem apparently has they have a shut off device, and on their forehead they have a phrase, and if you can get to their forehead and change one of the symbols on it to mean death, um it will deconstruct. So I thought that was pretty cool. So he ends up having to fight the golem, and then he doesn't destroy the golem because they find the shut off device. But then the episode basically ends with him saying, okay, I'll do this job. And they say, okay, we'll pay you for every time you complete this particular quest. But it doesn't say what the quest actually is. We haven't learned that yet. Then he goes back to his house, and he's showing the lady that he lives with his like blimp toy, shows her what it does, and she thinks it's pretty cool. But then you find out that he was also gifted a vial, or it's not really, I wouldn't say vial, but it's like a big container of vampire's blood. And the lady that he lives with, she's a magic user and all this, and she explains to him that, like, there are rumors that if you drink the vampire's blood, you'll become a vampire, but that's only a rumor. But we know for a fact that if you drink it, there have been instances where it has basically turned the person into like a shell of themselves, and they kind of go insane. So he's really contemplating, like, he can feel his like inside wanting to taste this vampire's blood, but he's very hesitant because he has no idea what it's going to do to him, even though he's undead already.
Right. So he'll either be an undead vampire, or he'll be undead and lose his mind, basically.
Or it could regenerate his body.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So
there's a 33 and a third % chance that something good could happen to him. Basically.
We're not trying to do Steiner math over here.
Yeah,
but
true.
yeah, so that's where that episode ended, and I'm really interested in where this series is going to. This is probably my second favorite series of the
season.
spring, the winter 24 season. Delicious in Dungeon first, of course, then Unwanted Undead, then for me Solo Leveling is the third. But they're all really like tight knit. This Unwanted Undead has also not had an episode that missed at all. There's been a few little slower episodes here or there because they introduce new characters pretty much every episode, so you get a little bit of a backstory, then you get the main story. So
yeah. Tyler, are you watching anything else?
I haven't had an opportunity, unfortunately, to watch anything else. I'm going to try to get back onto was it Caillou? No, that was
Kamui.
Conway.
Conway. Yeah, I don't know why I was
Kamui.
thinking. I don't know why I was thinking. Yeah, Conway. Yeah. Like I said before last week, I don't know why I said Caillou. I'm so sorry.
Kamui.
Yeah,
Kamui.
Kamui. Yeah. I only got like I said before last week. I only got one episode into that one, and I like it. Just having to watch it. I'll probably watch. I'm probably not going to bed until later tonight anyway because I got this fucked up sleeping schedule now. But yeah, I'll probably watch a couple of that. Obviously, Delicious in Dungeon's been great. Solo leveling's been good as well. You know, nothing too crazy. Like I'm trying to watch more and progress more. You know, in different things. Like I went back and just I watched some old Dragon Ball Z just the other day. And you know, it's like, man, I remember watching this when I was a kid. It's like, you know, it's like, man, it just brought back some memories of like the old Toonami days when we used to stay up till midnight on Saturday night, right after Shotgun Saturday night. WFLI TV 53 for those of you in Chattanooga that know. But yeah, I mean, other than that, man, I really haven't been doing a whole lot much. I've been catching up on anime, going back and forth between catching up on anime and catching up on wrestling, which I don't get to watch wrestling hardly ever anymore. So the most I get is like I watch the highlights of it on YouTube, and that's about it. I'm chances are I'm probably gonna miss watching WrestleMania this year, and that sucks. But you know, I can always, you know, I try my best to stay away from, you know, like this. It's what it was with Elimination Chamber. I made sure that I did not get on my phone or look at any spoilers or anything like that. Like I want to make sure that when I watch this thing, I want to know what happens. I don't want to be ruined by the internet, if you get what I'm saying.
Okay. Real quick, Talon, there's a song I recommend, I guess, for you. You probably like it, appreciate it. It's called To the Flowers by While She Sleeps.
I've heard of that band. I've never heard of that song before.
It came out last month. I've literally been jamming out to it for about a month straight now.
While she sleeps, and
the song is called To the Flowers.
To the Flowers. I got you. Hang on.
Also, speaking of new songs, have either of you listened to the new Joyner Lucas joint that came out today
with
Jelly Roll?
Jelly Roll, no, because I don't listen to Jelly
Roll. No, I didn't, but I'm definitely gonna check that out then.
I thought you were talking about the other one.
The one that came out like last week.
I don't know. I think it was a couple of days ago.
It might have been a couple of days ago. I thought it was just like last week. But he did the one with was it Benny the Butcher?
No, Conway the Machine. And that one was
Conway the Machine. Yeah.
That one was 2 weeks ago. Damn, it's already been 2 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, the one with him and Jelly Roll, it's very reminiscent of Am I a Racist? Or I'm Not a Racist. Where it's like he's singing a verse and then the other dude, like he's still singing it, but it's like the other dude's talking back to him, and it's all about addiction.
Nice.
It's really powerful.
Okay.
Jelly Roll only sings the hook.
Yeah, the latest album that I downloaded onto my Spotify account. You guys probably never heard of this band.
I
can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
just what's it called?
Aramith is called The Catalyst. Yeah, they're basically it's a trio band, but it's got I say trio band because there's three different singers. There's a clean male vocal, clean female vocal, and a guttural male vocal in it. And they have a lot of pretty interesting stuff. They're more like they're operatic, gothic, heavy metal, which is interesting. Like think of Evanescence, but like a little bit more heavy. That's what it reminds me of. She doesn't have the voice of an Amy Lee, but it's pretty good, I think. And then that's the latest album that I downloaded on Spotify. So there's your music for the week. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna look up the While She Sleeps song.
I also recommend Cold Rain Band. They're the ones that did the intro to Ninja Kamui, but I've been listening to a lot more of their stuff, and they've done some really, really good stuff too.
Yes, they have.
Speaking of music, because we were sitting like we was watching Delicious in Dungeon today, and Malachi looked at me and he was like, "Daddy, I think that's probably the best intro to a anime I've heard in a long time." I was like, "Are you serious?" And he was like, "I love this intro." I'm like, I like it too. I think it kind of I think it fits I think it fits the anime. You know what I mean?
Japanese music or Japanese vocals with medieval music.
Irish medieval music. Yeah. I think that's why it appealed, man. I think it's very underrated in terms of music goes. Cause you think of like, One Punch Man, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, obviously, all these great, amazing themes from the day, and it's like, yeah, it's Japanese vocals with medieval Celtic kind of Irish kind of Scottish kind of music. And I don't know, I love it. I think it's great. It's one of my favorites I've heard in a long, long time.
I mean, it's just D&D tavern music, what it is.
Yeah,
it's still good though.
Yeah, with Japanese vocals, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But no, Cold Rain, I think you definitely like because they're Japanese, not heavy metal, but hard rock, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to make that distinction now. And now people are even making distinctions within the heavy metal genres. It's like, okay, well, what are you? Are you grindcore? Are you slamcore? Are you deathcore? Are you black metal? You slam black metal? Are you surgecore? It's like, what the hell is surgecore? Like, I've never heard of surgecore a day in my life. And all surgecore is just industrial music mixed with death metal. That's all it is. I'm like, okay. I mean,
Rammstein?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say Rammstein is like heavy metal anymore. They're
not anymore.
I would say they're more industrial than anything.
Those are straight industrial for the most part.
Yeah. Well, in this German, you got to understand, Germany's industrial metal is way different than our industrial metal in a sense. Like they got Rammstein over here. We have 9 Inch Nails. You know what I mean? A little bit. I mean, kind of the same kind of style.
9 Inch Nails is industrial.
Head Like a Hole is kind of an industrial song.
But most of their stuff is industrial, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Tool had that one. Tool dabbled with industrial a little bit. Yeah, bless you. Tool dabbled a little bit with industrial on the 10,000 Days record, but it wasn't. You could tell he dabbled in it, but it was more like it was more Maynard's take on industrial as opposed to what the standard industrial music of America sounded at the time. Which they're probably one of the greatest progressive rock bands of all time. Them and Opeth probably, but people don't want to listen to Opeth because they don't want to listen to 25 minutes long songs. So I don't blame them.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to suggest those people to you because I figured, I don't know if you had to listen to them yet or not.
Not yet, but they are definitely on my list now.
I've definitely been listening to them, both those bands, Cold Rain and While She Sleeps more here recently. But moving on from there, I wanted to do a quick state of wrestling sort of like conversation since we're getting close to WrestleMania, and wrestling here recently has been good but also stupid again at the same time. In what sense, from Mania on, or not Mania, from the Rumble till now, we've been building the bloodline with The Rock. I know he acknowledged Roman Reigns, but I still feel like he's not in the bloodline. He's been showing up to SmackDown more than Roman Reigns has, which I guess if you ain't get booked in Hollywood, you got to book yourself in your business.
Right. Exactly.
But no, The Rock's done. He was doing such a great performance of building himself back up to being OG Hollywood heel Rock. And then it was past Friday, he pretty much did classic Rock that people loved about Hollywood Rock, that switched Hollywood Rock face, and he did the Rock concert on Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. I don't know why he decided to do that and be a babyface while doing it for the most part. I know it's current day wrestling and who cares about baby faces and heels, but you're literally in probably the most talked about feud of the year so far. So
the only
100%.
The only way that makes sense is if Roman says don't do that again. you've acknowledged me as tribal chief, therefore you answer to me, because that's what the whole idea behind the tribal chief is. You answer to me now. That's what he told Solo when Solo joined the bloodline. That's pretty much anyone.
The difference in this is the Rock is high chief,
yeah,
which supersedes tribal chief,
right.
But I see what Roger's saying. Like when it comes to the whole thing, it's like he's been doing like tremendous heel work, like something that we never thought we'd see from the Rock again, because he's so over, and he literally like flipped it on a dime, and brought this heel persona back, and I love it. I didn't like the Rock concert from this past week at all, but I know there are a lot of people within WWE that are soured on the Rock right now, because of his social media promos. There's been several reports that have come out. WWE has a strict policy about curse words in like your social media, and The Rock just throws that out the door. Now, yes, he is on the board of member, but he's or the board of directors, but he should still be held to those same standards that all the other wrestlers or superstars, whatever you want to call them, are held to when it comes to like your social media promos.
If anything, I think he should be held to a higher standard, because he is on the board of directors and he is the guy who is basically, I won't say he's the face of WWE as far as TKO is concerned though, but he does have a lot to do with, he does give people the perception of what TKO holding is supposed to be in a sense, because there's a lot of double standards, like the whole thing with the promo that we just talked about a few seconds ago, where he acknowledged Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. That promo was 32 minutes long, to the point that they had to literally take a segment away, because the Naomi Tiffany Stratton match that followed that only had 3 minutes when it was supposed to be a 2-segment match, and one of those segments had to be scrapped because The Rock took too long. So a lot of people are saying basically there's a double standard with The Rock. Like, I get it, okay, he's on the board of TKO Holdings, but like what you said, why isn't he being held to a higher standard?
Yeah, I mean, when you're up there, I guess you can do what you want. But here's the thing: he's bringing tons of views in.
Oh,
SmackDown's had such a resurgence. I mean, SmackDown's always, well, not always. SmackDown has consistently been a better show more often than not. Even back in the day, we know that.
I've always been more of a fan of SmackDown than I've been a fan of Raw.
That's because Raw needs to go back to being just 2 hours and make a more concise show instead of being 3 hours and just shitting on everybody for being such a slow-paced show.
Even if it did go back to 2 hours and the ratings did increase, I still think SmackDown overall was a better. Because I mean, see, I go back all the way to the SmackDown 6. When it was Eddie, Chris, Chavo, Kurt Angle, Edge, and Mysterio. Like when it was those 6 guys pretty much just running, being the best guys on the card, and then you had other guys that started like Lesnar, and then you had a couple of other names on it, like some young guys like Cena got in there a little bit, tussled with him a little bit, but for the most part, I always thought SmackDown was a better show than Raw was. Even in its shitty UPN days, I thought it was a better show than
UPN
Raw.
days were not bad. I actually liked those a lot.
You
had Booker T up top a lot.
It was the infamous Muhammad Hassan angle that kind of soured the whole thing with UPN.
We say infamous, but that gimmick worked so well, except for that one day where Vince decided to be beyond stupid.
Yeah.
Up there with Iron Sheik. Well, not as big as Iron Sheik, but he'd be up there known as such a high foreign heel wrestler.
Yeah.
Which I don't think foreign heels work in today's
it's a global show. It doesn't make sense.
because I mean, think of like the big stars. Like, yeah, you have Seth Rollins is American, obviously, but Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're both big stars and they're both Canadian. You know, you
That's
have
America.
well, nevertheless, it's still it's
Yeah,
our
I know.
neighbor to
I
the
know.
north, if you will. You know, but I mean, Andrade's, from Mexico.
But they're
You
building.
have
Hopefully, he gets up there. They're building him up. But yeah,
dude,
Yeah.
they should, man. I mean, that was
they are. I mean,
but
he just had a squash match against Apollo, and I didn't know Apollo was still on the board on the roster.
I thought he
I
was still
didn't
in
either.
NXT. Last time I seen Apollo, he
Yeah,
wrestled Carmelo Hayes in NXT. That was the
yeah.
last time I seen him, and that was like almost a year ago.
I thought it was 2 years ago.
No, it
It's
was
been
like
a
no,
while.
it was a year ago. It was a year ago. It was right before. No. It was
That's-
longer than that because it was before Carmelo became NXT champion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was
Yeah, so it was 2 years ago. Yeah,
before him and Brian,
Yeah.
before him.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's been almost 2 years.
yeah,
I mean, and then it's like pretty much all the quote unquote foreign guys are heels because like Gunther's a heel, Shinsuke's a heel, Dom is a heel, Damian
Balor's a
Priest is a
heel.
heel, Balor's
Yep.
a heel,
Rhea Ripley's a heel.
Rhea Ripley's a heel.
Becky's technically the only foreigner that's not a heel. Well,
mm,
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
yeah,
Yeah.
Because Damage Control.
yeah,
all of them are
Io,
all of them.
Asuka, and
Zayn and Dakota Kai.
Kyra,
well, foreigners.
Kyrie.
Yeah,
Yep.
she's where is she from? New Zealand, or is she from Australia?
Zealand.
Or New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Okay.
And Asuka got hurt at a live show off on Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. I hope they do the Freebird rules and let Dakota Kai pick up title with Kairi Sane. I hope they don't have to do another stupid tournament.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, foreign heels. It's stupid because they get over more than American heels in a good way, I guess. But
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, most of them have the badass personas, anyways. Drew McIntyre's another example.
Yes.
Doing his best work right now as a
Mhm.
pure heel, but doing some of the best promo work out of anybody.
Yep.
That is a good contingency plan. When Punk got hurt, immediately I said they got to do it with McIntyre. They got to.
Yeah.
But I also feel like in a weird twisted way they're shitting on McIntyre in a sense because Seth, they're doing this whole thing where Seth is with Cody right now. They're doing the whole thing with the bloodline. Then it kind of puts McIntyre in the background because Seth's got to defend the title against McIntyre on night 2 of Mania. So or is it like Seth Rollins takes so much heat the night before on night 1, come through, McIntyre actually pulls off a victory, but then you got to go back into the roster and say, damn, well, Damian Priest still hasn't cashed in his Money in the Bank yet, and he's got like
till July.
Yeah, it's till July to cash it. So do you go ahead and
Is it July? I thought he had to cash it in by Mania.
No, Money in the Bank is in July.
Yeah, it's a full
year.
Full calendar
year. Well, full pay-per-view calendar year because they're not always on the same day. Money in the Bank's not always on the same.
Right.
Yeah, he has until the next Money in the Bank.
Okay.
To cash in, which is why they need to bring it back to Mania only for it to be a bigger, important thing.
I agree. I agree 100%.
But when I was talking about the Rock and everything, I'm going to go to the flip side. And so Friday was not a bad promo, just an unnecessary promo to make the Rock sort of break character. Then we go on Raw, and you have Cody Rhodes give the shittiest promos I've ever seen in my life. He does the SmackDown. So the SmackDown before 2 weeks ago. Let's go back 2 weeks. They have the big stare down or face to face with Rollins and Rhodes invading SmackDown during the Bloodline and Rock segment. And they have security come around, which I love what Nick Aldis is doing as face GM. They're making it more realistic, making stuff seem bigger and better. And Adam Pearce on the other end is catching up to that and is working. We're having a actual brand war again, which is great.
Yeah,
and it's two guys who are legitimate world champions. Fuck the fact that they've never won a WWE championship. It doesn't matter. These are two legit heavyweight world champions who have a mind for business, who are coming in here and taking control over a roster, because those two guys, I mean, say what you want about Stephanie McMahon, Teddy Long, hell, even Mike Adamle, all of them general managers from the
Mike
past.
Adamle was the best.
Shut up. These two guys are the two best guys to be general managers in a very, very long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
But going back, so Rhodes and Rollins come in, they have face to face with Roman and Rock. They start going back and forth, barbing back and forth, having a good little promo segment. And The Rock says something to I can't remember exactly the word verbatim. I can't remember verbatim, but pretty much paraphrasing it, saying that your dad mistake, blah 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 blah. Cody Rhodes.
Slap shit out of him.
Well, not only that. My thing is with Cody, I don't believe Cody. Like, that's my thing. I just don't believe Cody when he does his promos. I don't believe him. He's always seems to ham it up. Like, yes, you're a great wrestler, but I don't believe you when you speak. But thankfully, he didn't speak after Rock says that to him. He's going to say something and then comes out and slaps the Rock across the face. And then The Rock just stares at Cody and smiles, and then we go off air. Weird time to go out off air. They should have gone a little bit longer than that and had them actually go and have be separated by security and then it go off air. What do I know?
I don't disagree with you, but if I can play devil's advocate, I think, because remember back in the day, and again, this is 2024, the internet's everywhere, everyone's got a smartphone and a camera phone, so I get it. But back in the day, if it cuts like that, then it's basically pretty much that's wrestling's version of a cliffhanger. You want to come back the following week to see, well, what happened? You know, what did we miss? Now, that could have worked back in 1998, 1999, 2000. It don't work in 2024.
No, that's what I said. They should have had the security guards separate them. Nick Aldis tells Cody Rhodes and Rollins to leave, and that could have been after on air. So on air, before it goes away, have security break them up and everything like that. Goes to black. And then off air, Nick Aldis is like, hey, you two come here. You touch our stars. You know, you're not supposed to be here. Get out, blah, blah, blah. And then this big thing, we're trying to get them out. That could be your off-air surprise camera footage from somebody in the audience, even though it's a good angle and whatever.
Man, this crowd member's got an HD camera on his phone. What's going on here? You know?
I mean, this man's recording from a freaking iPhone Black Magic.
Damn, that guy caught that in 4K. You see that 4K footage?
And uploaded it to our WWE page somehow. Oh, weird.
He hacked the system.
But no, so it's big moment for Cody getting his moment back from The Rock on SmackDown. So come Monday Night Raw, Cody's supposed to have this big promo, expecting him to say something worthwhile, and he shits the bed by crying and saying he's doing it for his mama. I get it. You're trying to get the fan pool. You're trying to get the sympathy and everything like that. But you got the sympathy beforehand when everybody thought you were being screwed out of your WrestleMania moment.
Right.
Now is not the time to draw sympathy. Now it's time to get aggressive and angry. Now it's time to flip the switch and make people be like, oh, this is getting really serious. Cody is on another level.
How many weeks
actually be able to do it.
How many weeks away are we away from Mania?
Three?
Right now? 3 weeks?
No, 2 or 3 weeks. Like it's super close.
Yeah,
it's April 5th and 6th, right?
6 and 7. So 2 weeks away.
6 and 7. All right. So this, if that's gonna what you just said, Roger, if that's gonna happen, it needs to happen this week and continue to next week. And I don't want to. Here's the thing. I don't want to see them
close, though.
Here's the thing. I don't want to see them interact with each other. I don't want them in the same ring at the same time. No, you've already done that. We've already seen what happened. Rock slaps you, you slap him. Roman's taking the piss because he's like, this is this is going to be
no heat on me
on night 2.
Yeah,
no heat on me. They are making it more about The Rock and Cody than they are about it being about Cody and Roman Reigns.
Weird that The Rock is making something about himself.
Well, but I also think this is good. Because here's what I think we get out of this. I think we're going to eventually still get this Rock versus Roman match. But I think it's going to be a complete flip of what we were expecting. So we were expecting The Rock to come in babyface and he's going to fight heel Roman, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think Roman is going to flip on The Rock because The Rock's came in and he's took all the shine off of Roman. Roman is playing second fiddle to The Rock now. So this is fucking with his mind even worse than being the tribal chief. Like you see it in his mannerisms, like being the tribal chief, and he's constantly like in dilemma, right? But now The Rock has come in and he's like the high chief. And he's like, oh, okay. So I think Roman turns on The Rock. I think the bloodline actually sides with The Rock over Roman because they look at it as that's their meal ticket now.
So
But does that? But
are you
does
saying
that?
he turns on him in a way where he becomes a babyface? Because
Yeah,
the way you're making it
yes.
sound, he still makes The Rock the babyface if he turns on him that way.
Mm-mm.
I think The Rock and the bloodline turn on Roman.
That's
you have to turn Roman babyface.
Yeah, that's the only way you can turn Roman babyface at that point.
Nope, because I think once the Roman attacks The Rock, like you have The Rock, he's continuing to do this shit, and you see the dilemma on Roman's face. I think once you have this where like it's almost the way that Jay turned babyface, right? Where he attacked Roman.
Well, with Jay was different because he was being attacked by Roman to begin with, and he just fought back and everything. He had a dilemma because of his brother and Sammy and everything like that. It wouldn't make sense if Roman attacked The Rock, it would still make him a bigger heel, and he left a bloodline behind.
If The Rock hadn't had a babyface reaction like he did during the Rock concert, then I'd agree with you wholeheartedly. But I think because more people like The Rock than they like Roman, I think more people would side with The Rock.
Yeah, you would have to have The Rock in the bloodline turn on Roman.
But I think at the end of the day, regardless of who the babyface is or who the heel is, at the end of the day, I don't think the fans really care in the grand scheme right now. Once we get to that point in the story, I think people will start to care more. Then you can pick your side. I think what it needs to focus on is Roman getting the belt, Roman dropping the title at this point.
I don't think Roman needs to drop.
I don't think so either. I think he should beat Hulk Hogan's record. I don't think he should drop it to SummerSlam and
drop it to The Rock at SummerSlam.
No, just drop the title at SummerSlam. At that point, it really doesn't matter who. I mean, it does matter who, because you have to build somebody up enough to make it make sense. Maybe at that point you have Gunther. No, because he's on Raw.
Randy, LA Knight.
LA Knight, they're putting him back in mid card, unfortunately.
Yeah,
he's gonna have. I guarantee you, LA Knight's gonna have probably one of the best matches on the card.
Yeah, because he's going against AJ Styles. That's two workhorses, right there.
Dude, exactly, dude. Is this TNA in 2000? No,
they weren't. They
weren't in TNA together. Never mind.
They were TNA together.
Yeah, because he didn't go there until 2018, I think.
Where? Oh, 2018, he went to NWA, didn't he?
I thought he was in TNA before he went to NWA.
He was, and that was like 2015. He was there early because he was there during the EC3.
Yeah. Well, remember him, McIntyre, and they were the Uprising. It was him, McIntyre, and whoever that other guy was. I can't remember who the other guy was. Who was that guy? I'm gonna look it up now because now it's bugging the hell out of me.
2015. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was because he was in NXT in 2013-14. Only did like one appearance technically on TV and then left. I remember that much. But going back, Cody Rhodes spits this hot garbage, terrible Crybaby promo, which literally buys into The Rock being right about Cody Rhodes. So it doesn't make sense. It was supposed to be him being fired up, being aggressive, booing. If you cry because you're like, I'm not doing this for this person, this person, this person. I'm doing it for this person. If you're not doing it for yourself, then what are you doing it for?
Oh, that was him. It was Tangaloa. he was going by
Oh
Maka
yeah,
in TNA.
yeah.
They were called the Rising,
After
not the Uprising. That was when they were
after
feuding with the Beatdown Clan.
after he left being Camacho, the
Yes.
Mexican.
Yes, it was after he left. It was after he left being Camacho. Yes.
the Tongayan Mexican.
The,
I
the Texican?
I get,
But
That word
I
ain't
knew-
offended. That word's not offensive, is it? Texican?
Texican? No, no. I mean
Okay.
that's
I
what you got.
don't think so.
Tex
I just
American. I mean it's
Double,
Tex Mex.
just double checking.
It wouldn't offend me. I don't give a damn. It's not mine. But no. So that's big WWE moment. They had WWE also this past Monday did a gauntlet match for the number one contender for the IC title, and Sami Zayn won against Chad Gable, which apparently had a lot of negative backlash as well because
Yeah.
people wanted it to be Chad Gable, which I think is the first time in Sami Zayn's WWE history that his underdog gimmick bit him in the ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. But see,
Um,
Gable, he remember when he had that banger with Gunther back in what was it? Back in October or September or October of last
September,
year.
yeah, because it was right after right after SummerSlam.
It was right after
yeah.
SummerSlam. Yeah. They had a banger on Monday Night Raw. And a lot of people thought, okay, that's going to cement Chad Gable as the next guy because he needs, not that he needs to be quote unquote separate from Otis in a sense as like breaking up the tag team, but if you're going to put him in some type of singles role, him and Gunther would be like you thought they had a banger on Raw. They're going to fucking kill it at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? That's the mindset. I understand why they gave it to Sammy because Sammy's busted his ass all year. Main event in WrestleMania, had a big main event moment with Roman in Montreal at the Elimination Chamber event. He was constant, and I guess like this is like his gold watch. I guess you know what I mean. But I don't know. I'm leery to see what happens.
Well, also, the other thing that I'm interested to see is, so as of this recording, we're recording on Monday, March 18th. Brock Lesnar re-debuts tonight on Raw. What are they going to do with him?
Allegedly. I don't know if it's happened yet or not.
I don't know if it's happened yet or not, but
I was going to say something about Braun Breaker, but he's on SmackDown, so that's probably not going to be a thing.
See, that's my thing. Like, do you re-debut Roman Lesnar tonight? Like, really? Or do you wait until after Mania?
I would rather do it after Mania, to be honest with you.
I would think you do it after Mania, but they already announced him. Like
well,
last week,
he's back on the roster.
Well, last week they announced him as appearing on Raw tonight.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just knew they announced him being back on the roster.
What did Lesnar do last? He wrestled Omos last year, didn't he? At WrestleMania?
Yeah, but his last thing that he did was who did he wrestle last?
Cody at SummerSlam.
Apparently tonight, Cody Rhodes lit up the WWE with an explicit profanity-filled promo.
Oh, great! He's back to his garbage AEW promos.
Yes.
I mean the promos and the garbage of eight, man.
But
I'm gonna say let me say one quick thing. I understand that professional wrestling is about moments. But just like what Al Snow said this week, someone is going to freaking die in AEW if you keep taking unnecessary risk, and you know who I'm talking about.
Well, it's not Darby because he broke his foot, so he's out of wrestling right now.
Not the trail I'm going on. Just hear me out. I understand you want to have a moment in Sting's last match. I get it, but more people are going to remember that crazy spot that you did through glass as opposed to it being because if you think about it really, and somebody talked about this the other week. I can't remember who it was that said it. Who did Sting make in WWE in AEW other than Darby, in a sense? And the reason why they bring this up is because Sting was undefeated in AEW. He never lost a match. So wouldn't it have made more sense for him to go out putting somebody on top? See, this guy, who was it? It was it Figure 4 Online? It wasn't Brian Alvarez or Dave Meltzer. Yeah. The name of the podcast that I heard it on escapes me, but was it Solo Master? It may have been Solo Master, but they basically said that that what he believed the right thing should have done was have Sting versus Darby and Sting put Darby over as the next.
That was the plan until the EVPs.
Exactly.
They literally was supposed to be Darby versus Sting because Darby built the promo of "I want to be the one to retire you."
Yeah.
Yep.
And then out comes Dick Jackson and Butt Boy Jr.
Butt Boy Jr. That's funny. I like it. The
young
cucks, as I call them.
They had to put themselves over because they can't have somebody else get shine while they're in limbo right now. Right. But we'll get to the AEW in a second. Let me finish up this WWE talk real quick.
Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump the gun.
You're good. So we have Sami Zayn actually being booed and stuff because of that situation. On the other side, though, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Jake Paul are having
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and Grayson Waller having this great little segment of each other right now. Not only that, did you guys see the Austin Theory stunner into the RKO?
Yes.
It was a little hammed up, but
it could have been better. Cool. It could have been better.
It was hammed up, but it looked cool. But no, those guys are having a great moment. I feel like pairing Austin Theory and Grayson Waller with Logan Paul has helped all three of those guys really well in heel wise. Yes, everybody hates Logan Paul as a person. As a wrestler, it's hard to hate him because of how good he is in general. But having that pairing up with those guys makes sense. But also having something for Kevin Owens and Randy Orton to do at the same time and not flounder in the same situation and not be just going against each other is also really done really well. Mm-hmm. Since after Roman came back and they did the Fatal 4 and not really done anything with him much since. He did the Elimination Chamber and was doing good. He was doing his important things there. It built it up really well. Like he was going to win, but he was on SmackDown, so we knew he was going to win. The number one contendership, whatever. But to continue the Logan KO thing and then throwing Orton in it, you could have feel like it could have been seen as Randy taken over, and it could have just been bland like it was before in the past where they've done that with Randy, just throw him in something and he just take over and you don't feel like somebody else can win or have an opportunity. But I feel like in this, Logan is going to win his WrestleMania match because of Theory and Grayson Waller, but I think it finally flips Randy Orton back to the heel persona, which is what he's so good at, because they need it.
They do need it. They do need a heel Randy Orton. Although me personally, I think they're going to slide Kevin Owens over in this one, only because they've had this thing with him in the U.S. title with Logan going all the way back to the Royal Rumble, and I think eventually, because let's be honest, Randy doesn't need it. Randy doesn't need them. He doesn't need the win. He doesn't need the rub.
Kevin Owens doesn't need it either. So
he doesn't need it either. However, I think they're going. I think they're going to try to figure out a way to get the U.S. title off of Logan. Probably maybe take him into maybe a deal. If the plan is that Cody Rhodes is going to win the title from Roman, then chances are Logan will probably slide into that, or at least make an attempt to slide into the world title picture at that point, which then again, these are all speculations and things. So, but that's one act. Or it could be a situation of what you said. Logan wins Logan keeps the championship and has another good little, run with it until maybe, I don't know, SummerSlam, maybe, possibly Survivor Series,
maybe. What is after Backlash?
Money in the Bank.
Is there not? No, because Backlash would be May.
Backlash is May. June is Money in the Bank.
July is Money in the Bank. June would be a Raw pay-per-view. So it probably would be July's Money in the Bank. Maybe hold on to Money in the Bank. But I think creating this little faction of Paul, Waller, and Theory being just like the egoist works really well in general. Mm-hmm. So I think holding on till there, get people to really hate those guys in general, and obviously Logan Doodle.
Money in the Bank is actually so it's Battleground is after Backlash.
I
Yeah,
forgot they did the
NXT.
battleground
in
event.
June. That's
It's
what I said.
yeah, but it's an NXT
Oh, so
pay
it's
per
not a
view.
main. I thought they were.
There's not a main. So in May is
Backlash.
Backlash.
Mhm.
The next main one is not until
Money in the
July,
Bank. Yeah.
which is Money in the Bank. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, it's SummerSlam in
August.
Cleveland, August 3rd. Yeah.
Well, that's where Jake Paul would probably lose it then, or Logan Paul. Sorry, Logan
Yeah.
Paul probably loses it because it's his hometown.
Yeah. That
So
makes sense.
he holds it on till then. Maybe drops it. Maybe him and the Miz start a feud again because they're both Cleveland boys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah. Then I'm trying to remember where it was. Maybe Randy Orton turns heel, blah blah blah, everything like that. Kevin Owens turned heel. Yet again, either one of those guys turns heel, doesn't matter. They're both good at either one, but I think it's time for heel Randy Orton. Maybe him and LA Knight can get something going on there because they tease stuff here or there during the build up to the Fatal 4-Way. But trying to think. Lead up to the women's, Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley probably gonna be another spectacular match. I can see it going either way. Maybe they do give the win to Becky. Doesn't really. To me, it doesn't matter which one of the two women win it. Rhea Ripley's probably been the most consistent main roster champion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for the last year.
Other than Gunther or Roman.
Well, she's more consistent than Roman because Roman doesn't show up until
Right.
but hey, if you get a part-time pay and get full-time money, do what you got to do.
Hey, I'm not knocking the hustle.
But see, I can't say Gunther because there's been a point where he's not really done anything with his title. He's been going back and forth with the Imperium stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But Rhea Ripley's been consistent and she's defended her title against every woman on the roster.
Everyone except Becky.
Becky and Liv because she's been out for 2 years.
Yeah. She wrestled Bianca, but it was an NXT, so she hasn't been on the main roster with Bianca.
She hasn't. Not since she's been champion.
No. The last interaction they had with each other, Bianca and her, was when they met in the finals of the Royal Rumble. They were the last two in the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before Judgment Day. Before.
Yeah, that was last year's Mania build up to her and Charlotte having their rematch, which Charlotte shouldn't have won the first one to begin with.
I agree, 100%.
But no, I mean Rhea Ripley has been the most consistent. She's fought almost every single one. Even if it wasn't for the title, she's faced almost every single woman on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Even the new girls like Zoe Stark and Ivy Nile, and
we say Zoe Stark's new, but I mean she's been around for.
She's newer than some of the other girls that are on the main roster.
I'm trying to think. Who was the other women's champion?
Io Sky.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting they're doing the damage control thing. Can I keep forgetting that she has a title, but they're doing the thing with Bailey to set up. But I keep thinking of the tag title stuff. So
right,
it's mixed up in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce.
I mean that one definitely is going to Becky. Not Becky, Bailey. Sorry.
Yeah, I think so too.
She's put in her work for the last year and a half, building up every other woman in her faction, story wise. But going back, there was a situation where we finally saw Jade Cargill debut at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It's on a fantastic show and pretty much is Becky Lynch's Bianca Belair SmackDown.
Right, basically.
Which if those two have a match, I'm really excited. I want to see how much of the growth Jade's had. They took her out of the Elimination Chamber. She was supposed to be in it. Put Raquel Rodriguez in it.
She's out now. She's hurt again.
No, she's not hurt. So in January she got diagnosed with cell mass, some kind of disease. She had an outbreak.
It's basically an extreme version of rosacea, basically, is what it is.
And then she had an outbreak at Elimination Chamber, so they've internally taken her off. Well, externally taken her off the main roster, but she's internally just on the uh the PUP list, I guess technically would be in WWE.
Basic, yeah. She's inactive, basically.
Yeah. But everybody's like, oh, she's injured again. Like, no, I think she's just having more flare outs. Because she had an elimination chamber. It may have been because of the extreme heat in Australia at the time.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know what's going on there. But I do think it was an unfair moment for Jade not to get experience from that with all the people that were in that ring. She could have learned so much.
Yes.
And that's what she needs right now. Yes, she got plenty of TV time in AEW, but AEW does not know how to produce people up to work that way unless there was people who can put you in that situation.
Yeah, if she works with a Serena Deeb, or if she works with a even like hell, I mean, people say what you want about Britt Baker, but Britt Baker does have somewhat good wrestling ability. I mean, she's not the best, but I mean, she's better than most of the girls that's on the AEW roster, I think.
Well, my thing is just that
Soraya,
Well, she left before Soraya, didn't she?
No, I think she was there for a little bit before. I think she was with Soraya a little bit before she left.
Maybe. But my case is just pacing and understanding of the wrestling ring in general, which you can only get not only from experience, but people to show you what is it? What is the sensibility of the ring? I guess would be the best way to say it.
Ring awareness.
Well, ring awareness is where you are in the ring, but understanding how to use the ring.
Gotcha.
Is what I'm trying to say.
I see what you're saying.
Because when we started the Rumble, she was still she's still green WWE wise, but she knew to go to like Bailey or Rhea or even Bianca to figure out what to do next. So she knew who to go to and see what to do next, but you could see she was lost because everybody knows Rumbles are crap. Battle Royals are crap. It's punch and kick until somebody does your spots.
Yeah,
I absolutely hate them.
Maven actually did a video like a week before the Rumble came out. Maven Huffman did a video about how WWE actually structures their Royal Rumbles and stuff like that. Very interesting watch if you want to go check it out. But basically, it basically broke down like, okay, if I'm coming in at number 11 and I'm getting eliminated at number 14, basically basically you can walk and talk, but it's like, okay, like, okay, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Stay out of the way and allow people to happen. Make sure an elimination doesn't take place during an entrance. If it is your turn to get eliminated, make sure you go out before the next entry happens. If the person who's supposed to eliminate you accidentally gets eliminated, then just grab a guy and say, hey, throw me over. Very, very weird, interesting insight on how the structure of a Royal Rumble works. In fact, he said something to the effect of, it's the only time that you're actually given a script, and that script can be anywhere from 15 to 25 pages long.
They say that, but I think they just use a bunch of ring generals now, pretty much.
Nowadays, probably, yeah. But I mean, it's a long match. It's over an hour long. There's a whole lot of moving parts in there. If you take one step to the left or right the wrong way, and you ain't supposed to be in that spot, it's happened to me before in battle royals. That's why I don't like them.
Because it's literally you fill the ring. Most rings aren't big enough to begin with. We could go ahead and say that. Most people use 10 by 10s or 12 by 12s. The biggest one is what, 16s or 20s?
Mania has a 24-inch ring, a 24-foot ring.
24, that's Mania.
Mania is the only pay-per-view that uses a 24 or
pay-per-views
in WWE.
Yeah.
Regular pay-per-views
are 18s, right?
No, regular pay-per-views are 20s.
22.
22, yeah, 22.
20.
Yeah.
TVs are 18, house shows are 16.
I thought TVs were 20 and house shows are 18.
No.
Okay. I thought it was.
But I was talking about wrestling in general, like 12 by 12.
Right.
12 by 12 is what crappy shows use, or smaller shows use.
Yeah.
Chip.
You're good if you get a 16.
16, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 16 should be the standard for indies to get a sense of it and have more space to do good stuff.
See, I'm weird. I love the 20-foot rings. I've wrestled in a 20-foot ring.
I hate them.
Only a very few times, but I liked it. I liked the 20-footers.
I don't hate them, but there's just so much space left over for stuff.
Do you know?
I hate them. I hate them for the simple fact that, like, so when you're just doing something simple like running the ropes,
Yeah, that is
You
true.
gotta
It
take
is a
that extra
long,
step
it's
and
a
a
long
half.
way.
yeah,
Extra
you
2
gotta
steps, actually.
in a 20 you have an extra 2 steps. So typically it's supposed to be
Step,
the
step,
way we
turn.
were trained. It was 2 steps, two and a half steps
Just
should
two
get you
steps
from
pivot. Yeah.
Yeah.
so 2.5 steps should get you from one side of the ring to the other. Um and at a 20 there's an extra
Separate two
two
steps.
steps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh
Yeah.
and so if you don't pace yourself properly, like, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah. The only ring that I hate worse than like a smaller ring, like, I mean, 12-foot rings, I can't wrestle on a 12-foot ring. Me and
Nobody
Chip did
can. They're so stupid.
no. Here's how dumb we were when we were young wrestlers. Me, Chip, and another guy that we wrestled with, our good buddy Kevin, we did a big top drop in an 18-foot ring. Don't
Yeah,
ask us why we did it.
So for those out there that don't know what a big top drop is,
Yeah.
that's where it's essentially the big corner spot you see in almost every multi-man match, where you have somebody on the top rope going for like a superplex or whatnot, and another person comes over and does the power bomb or the electric chair drop or whatnot. But now imagine doing that in a ring that is 12 foot by 12 foot. The person on the very top who's taking the superplex is basically hitting the diagonal corner.
My ass hit the bottom turnbuckle.
You're lucky that's all hit.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, like, as soon as we went, I was like, I told Chip as soon as we went, I was like, this ain't gonna end good.
No,
But-
this is a dumb spot.
But our buddy Kevin had the wherewithal to keep back and not like go forward with it. So he kind of leaned with it and then just did almost like
a jackknife.
Like a jackknife, basically. So he basically jackknifed a superplex, basically, which was fine. You know, that was the only way it could have worked. You know, because if he had gone like forward with it, I would have landed on the outside of the ring without a doubt.
I would tell you, I damn sure wasn't going to be the top.
No, those are the ones where you're in the back and you're like, you want to do this spot? No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm the risk taker. Fuck it, I'll do it. I don't give a shit about
There's
my
a
body at that
difference
point,
between
you
risk
know?
taking. Go join AEW because that's the kind of risk you take.
Nah,
You're doing AEW spots.
But like I said, the only thing that I hate worse than those like small ass confined rings, I hated working in a 6-sided ring.
I love 6-sided ring.
I hate them, dude. Yeah, because you ain't got a bump in the motherfucker.
Well, not only that, I also had more spring ability.
The spring ability ain't even really what it was about for me. Like, I mean, here's the thing. I could wrestle in a regular like 16 by 16 ring, no issues. I wrestle in a 6-sided ring. For some reason, it I don't know.
It's a completely different. It's a different feel.
It's like bumping. It's like bumping on concrete that's still on a trampoline, in a sense, and the trampoline's like frozen. You know what I mean? Like that's what it feels like in a weird sense. I know that's a strange analogy. Just there's a way I can word it differently. Maybe I'll try later. But yeah, I didn't like the way because you hit the ropes a certain way, and the ropes would always be like this, like extra tight. You know what I mean? You know,
well, they have to be on the sixes.
Yeah, I hate it.
Like I said, extra spring ability.
Hell, the one that I wrestled in,
it was a 14 by 14.
Yeah, the one I was in Royston, Georgia. I wrestled. It was James Boulevard's production. I can't remember. I can't exactly remember the guy that I wrestled. But yeah, you hit the ropes, dude, and it literally looked like it's like point, like it sprung you forward, but it was almost like it like pushed you in a weird way. I'm like, God, I don't, like give me a chance to take my own. That's why I like real ropes. I'm weird. I'm one of the only people that likes the real ropes on ring.
I love real
Chip.
ropes.
Okay. Me and Chip wrestled Woody and Boogie Woogie Rob McBride in Mount Airy, North Carolina, and it was a 16 by 16, but they used real ropes instead of cable, and I was like, oh, I love this. This is so fun,
Yeah, I can't do it. It's so weird to try to spring off of them.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm okay with it as long because again, like I don't want it to push me forward, but at the same time, it's like if you know when to hit and when to go forward. It helps a little bit more. But
I'm not talking about like spring from running the ropes. I'm talking about doing springboards and stuff.
no, yeah, I quit doing springboards. I quit doing springboards when I hit 30. I was like, nope, I got no reason to do them anymore.
Well, I mean, I haven't wrestled in 4 years. So I was like, I think last time I did a springboard was 25. So,
Hey, who
man,
has 2 thumbs and has never done a springboard? This
That
guy.
but that guy also did a dive out the rope, fully flipped, and I caught him and he landed on his foot. So
Well,
you may not springboard, but you dive. So.
there's a difference.
Yeah, one is safe into the ring, one is out of the ring dangerously.
No, it's not. It's not dangerous when you have somebody that's going to catch you.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people that catches you no matter what. You don't always get the guy that catches.
Also, why I was very selective on the dives.
You'll get those guys that are like, yeah, I'll catch you. Not paying attention to Samoa Joe the shit out of you.
Ted Allen. I remember Ted Allen doing that one night. He was wrestling.
You?
No.
I was fixing to say, when did this happen?
Him and Kyle Matthews were tagging, and I want to say it was either against the Reimer boys
The Reimer twins.
Yeah, that was
or was it
we were
Thunder and
DCW.
Lightning?
I think it was the Rhymers because Kevin.
I don't know.
Was the one that went to the dive. Yeah.
Yeah, they were telling him in the back. They were like, okay, and then at this spot we're gonna do a dive, and he's like, I'm not gonna catch you. And they thought he was joking. He was like, seriously, I'm not gonna catch you. And they went for the dive, and he sidestepped. He did the Samoa Joe, and didn't catch him. Like
his right foot caught the middle rope as he came down. So he awkwardly kind of turned his body so that he wouldn't like land flat on his face, which you still heard and it was, yeah. Don't do that.
Was that during the time where the Reimer twins were doing the Shield gimmick?
They were doing the what gimmick?
Was before
the Shield gimmick. They were
that's
coming out
when they were
full
doing
tactical.
No, I think that's before when they were doing the Hardy Boys gimmick.
Yeah.
Oh God.
This is back when Chip.
Reimer twins.
This was back when Chip was doing a tag team called True Perfection.
Was the hip hop honky?
Nope. No. I was doing the Messiah gimmick at that point.
This was back when I had like long hair,
black hair. Yeah.
I had long black hair. Yes.
Yeah.
I had long black hair, and I basically was doing almost a Rick Martel-esque gimmick, where it would come out with the hairbrush, and I would brush the hair and do the mirror and all that. And the gimmick of the finish was if we were going over, Jesse who was our manager at the time, would slide us a hairbrush, gimmick the hairbrush.
Yeah.
Yep. And the first time I ever used it, the kid was like, "Oh, I'll kick out of that," and I was like, "Well, I mean, no, that's the finish." And he was like, "No, I'm gonna do that." So she slid me the brush, and he goes up to the top rope to do something, and I've got the hairbrush, and I meet him, and I club him with this fucking hairbrush, and broke it in half. He tumbles from the top rope to the floor.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And I pinned him, and we get to the back, and he's like, "Well, what the fuck was that?" I was like, "You didn't kick out, did you?"
Yeah, if you're gonna try to know something about gimmick, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, there was a tag match. This was when me and Chip really started hitting our stride as the movement for Woody, and we were in a triple threat match, and it was us, the Good Old Boys, and somebody else, can't remember who it was, but Chip was tagging the guy, and he was no selling him, just no selling him like almost every time, and for whatever reason the guy he got close to our corner, and I just looked at him like, "Hey!" He told me, he goes, "What?" And I just tatered him, and he was like, "What the hell?" And then Chip tagged me, and we came in, and I was like, "We're good now, right?"
That's
and he was like,
"Shit." That's that
Here's the
North
thing.
Georgia shit.
And I told him afterwards, it's like, I didn't mean to hit you that hard, but I
No,
needed,
you
I
didn't.
needed you to
No, you
understand.
No,
meant
you
to hit
did.
him
You
that
meant to hit him that
hard.
hard. Don't you dare lie to us.
No, I tried to, no. Here's the thing. I tried to land it flush, but what ended up happening was that knuckle caught him and grazed him right here at the bottom part of the chin. So it wasn't like I was intentionally trying to make him go loopy. I just wanted him to fucking stop no-selling chips.
Slow it
That's
down.
what it did.
You slowed it down.
Yeah. Which is awkward that I was the one who got the guy to slow down, because normally in matches, I'm the one that has to be slowed down, which is strange, but you know.
Now you know how it is.
I know how it is. Oh, dude, God rest his soul, man. Jay Farley. God rest Jay Farley's soul, man. I was maybe, God, I don't know, maybe 2-3 months in the business at this point. And it was a deal where Jay Farley, and at the time he was tagging with Leroy Lewis, and he was in the ring. And then it was Kevin Ages and Sean
Spears.
Starr. No, Sean Starr.
Starr.
Yeah,
He
he was in the ring, and I don't think I was I tagging with Killaway at the time? Yeah, I was tagging with Killaway at the time, and he was in the match, and it was a triple threat match, right? Because we were the 3 teams that were vying for the tag titles or whatever, but they wanted to do 2 triple threat matches within like respective members of the team, right?
That's some
So they're
Barry
doing
Allen
that
type
whole
shit.
thing. Hey, I'll tell you, yeah. So they did that whole thing, and I'm running around the ring chasing Kevin Ages, right? Why I'm chasing Ages? Because he's fucking 6'1" and I'm not. You know, so I'm chasing him, and all of a sudden I see Jay doing something. I run over to him. All he did was I was running so fast at him. All he did was just put his fist out, and I ran straight into his fist and just collapsed. You know, I didn't do anything else that whole match. I didn't try to stop. I didn't try to make a save. Nothing. I just stood in the corner. I get to the locker room, and I'm just sitting there. Jay walks up to me. He sits down next to me, lights a cigarette, and he hands it to me. He goes, I took a drag off of it. He goes, what did you learn? I was like, slow down. He goes, there you go. And get over there. You got to call a match. You know, and I was like, well, and that's where I got the, what did you learn? That I got it from Jay. That's who I got it from. So, yeah. So now every time something stupid happens, I'm just like, what did you learn? Yeah.
Either you win or you learn, right?
Yep. Shout out to you, Jay, man. Rest in peace. We love you. We miss you. But yeah, that was very interesting. The stories that we would the memories of the crazy times we had in this crazy business that I don't miss what takes place inside the ring though. Like
Of course not.
I don't
It
miss that, you know.
People still don't understand that it sucks.
Yeah. I miss some of the boys, you know. I miss some of my peers, you know. But as far as me going back to that, I don't want to do it anymore. I've had my fun. I've had my time. Let somebody else destroy their body for little to no money. You know, that's on them. I'll still support you though. You know, shout out to Tyler at RCW, Barry at Ego Pro, Jaden at TWE. You know, all you guys. You know, keep it making everybody proud. But not for me no more.
Nope. So let me go. So that's WWE's current situations and everything. Move over to the other people. AEW brought in 3 great free agents and have shit the bed with them all so far. Will Ospreay, Okada, and Mercedes Moné already.
Sasha
yeah, I was gonna say Sasha Moné, but yeah, whatever. But no, Okada debut. Oh, sorry. Will Ospreay debuts, has a match against
Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Yeah.
It's pronounced Takeshita.
Yeah.
I thought it was Takeshita. Yeah, I was going to say Takeshita. Yeah.
Takeshita. But no, they have a match really good. Will Ospreay almost immediately gets almost gets paralyzed because
same thing.
They do this stupid. They were going for the brainbuster thing on the top rope, the Sami Zayn or the El Generico brainbuster, and they Takeshita whiffs the top rope with Will Ospreay's head, Obviously, it's the shoulders that does the HDM back.
Yeah.
And then Lily gets his back bent over the top rope and drags down. Afterwards, Ospreay shows a giant welt contusion on his rib cage and back. Yay, you went to AEW to do stupid stuff.
Well, that's like the thing with Roderick Strong and his fight with Orange Cassidy. He hits the damn backbreaker. Cassidy literally hits ass first and then does a complete flip, damn near landing on his neck in the ring too. It's like, okay, I get it. Wrestling's about moments, but you have to do them in a safe way so no one gets freaking hurt.
Yeah, but it's AEW. They don't care about health and safety.
And that's the problem. That's the problem.
And then you have from there, so that's Will Ospreay. He took some time off and re-debuted again. The fact that you already had a re-debut and you've only been in the company like a few months.
And now they're doing it between him and Danielson next. That's going to be the next big money match for them.
Hey, I'm okay with it, but that should be a WWE thing at WrestleMania.
I agree 100%.
But you know. Then we have Okada debut, and Okada debuts by turning heel and immediately siding with his arch rivals, the Young Bucks. Don't know how you could shit the bed with Okada, but AEW proved me wrong.
I told you it was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen.
And reportedly, he should have gone to WWE. I have no idea. Yes, maybe they didn't want to pay him $4.5 million a year. Give Okada a year, he'll realize his mistake. Probably less than a year. Then we have Mercedes Moné debut in Boston, even though that was like spoiled a year ago at this point, or
right.
a few. It seems like a year, but yeah. I hate her finish so stupidly. It's so stupid.
That new one, it's terrible.
The one that she started doing when she went to New Japan, or
yes,
the one that she botched her very first time doing.
She botches every time. She botched it when she debuted AEW.
Yeah,
it's a gory bomb into a spin out face or flatliner. I think it's supposed to be.
That's what it seems like it's supposed to be, but that's not what happens. It's
not a natural movement for people. Like, yeah, you can get some athletic people to be able to do that for you, but not everybody's gonna be able to do that. I don't know why she's not doing the big statement still, or something else that just makes sense. But yeah, so she botched her finish again on her debut on another company, like she did when she went to Japan. Mm-hmm. But enough about that garbage. Let's move on to TNA, which is ramping up again. TNA has made some great signings and one terrible signing, but TNA has brought in Nick Namath, aka Dolph Ziggler, and him and Moose are about to tear down the show.
Yes.
Mustafa Ali, or Mustafa, however they want to say, or however he wants to say it. X Division champion, about to go against Chris Sabin, about to tear that house down.
Take my money.
Their first match when he won the X Division title from Chris Sabin.
I didn't get a chance to watch it. I didn't get a chance to watch it.
But I think this one, the revenge, the second is
going to be better.
Yeah, and it's going to be obviously Mustafa Ali has to win.
Yes,
but I don't know if he wins cleanly or not. I want to see a trilogy, but if TNA they can finagle it. They are able to make sense of stuff that shouldn't make sense here recently. Yes. So that's good. So two great signings right there, and then you have hot garbage, called Top Dollar AJ Francis.
Oh, your favorite wrestler.
Flop Dollar over here getting outdone by Joe Hendry on promo skills, which is hilarious to me. Why are people booking this man? Is he working for free? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's got to be, because bro, that dude is garbage.
But he's somehow
they just paired him with Rich Swann, so
yeah, Rich Swann turns on Joe Hendry to pair with Flop Dollar.
He's also doing the deal with MLW.
I was about to get to that.
Go ahead, get to it.
Flop Dollar is also beating up Boom IA Club for the why. I was going to say it, but no, he doesn't get that. He doesn't get to say it. Why are we doing this?
This is so disrespectful to Alex Kane. This is so disrespectful. Like, I again,
the whole group, because he beat up the muscle. He beat Mr. Thomas up.
Yeah, like, yeah. Like, hey, Alex, if you listen to this, bro, I don't know the story. I don't know what's going on. Hell,
They
AJ
better be
Francis
paying
might
you.
be a good dude in real life. I guess. I don't know. But, bro,
Man, your back's
don't
gonna
let
hurt
this
after
man
hearing
drag
this.
your ass down, bro.
It just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense.
Get it.
Oh, sorry. I also forgot on the TNA side. Well, I can still certainly stay on the TNA side. TNA also picked up Alex Hammerstone, which we thought he was going to go to anyways.
Yes.
But no, like I said, great signings, and then one hot garbage sign up. I don't know. I don't know if he was a walk on, and they're like, "Yep, go ahead."
What I haven't watched Impact lately. I'm sorry, I haven't watched TNA lately. What are they going to do with Hammerstone? Are they going to put him in there with Josh Alexander, or are they going
Um,
to?
So his only two matches with TNA currently have been against Josh Alexander.
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
They're doing a. What are they doing right now?
And
Crap,
they've
they're
been
setting up.
bangers.
Are they like a? Are they doing like a best of 7 with him, or is it
Oh, I don't
just
know.
No, they're just having good matches.
okay?
But he came back. Josh, they're just doing back and forth pretty much. Um, I was looking up to see what they were doing, but no. Freaking Alex Hammerstone's a monster. He posted on one of his social medias that's popping up on when I was searching on Google. He did 75 minutes fasted on the Stairmaster. Bro, I can't do 15 minutes full on the Stairmaster. This man is not eating and doing 75 minutes of cardio on the Stairmaster.
That
Jesus.
man is inhuman.
Jesus. That's why he's so diesel all the time.
My God.
Yeah.
And then he said he also did 15 minutes of sauna afterwards. I bet you did. Your body was bad. You couldn't do anything else. But let's continue on to
Oh my God.
MLW. Unfortunately, our boy Alex Kane lost the title to Satoshi Kojima.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess they had to find a way to take the title off of Alex Kane if they were going to pair him up with Top Dollar for some reason. I don't get it. They didn't need to do that. Doesn't make any sense at all. There's so many other people on the card, or anybody can bring in besides that garbage can of a man and have him wrestle and do stuff with. I don't know what the deal with Satoshi is. I guess that's just them having a relationship with New Japan, hoping for something in the long run. I guess that's why they did that. Satoshi is a former MLW champion in the 2003 or something like that. I can't remember what year it was exactly.
What was the
Satoshi
question?
when he was MLW champion the first time? It was like early 2000s. I can't remember for sure when it was.
2002.
Off by a year. My fault. But no, they're doing some good stuff overall still. Over there, they brought in Sami Callihan again, or is he still going by Sami Callihan? I can't remember what exactly he's going by still. They're doing that. Violence. I can't remember what his stupid hardcore faction is, but there is him and his faction against Raven, Akira, and
is it not OVE?
No, OVE broke up because some of the guys from OVE got taken out of the faction. So Sammy and a couple of those guys turned heel, kicked out the guys that were trying to be on Raven's side because they paired up with Ravens to learn under the guys Raven, and then they split the group up together. They split them up to have the feud together, which is great storytelling and everything. That's cool. Raven is old. You can see it in him.
Hey, there's a guy in MLW named Talon. Cool.
Yeah. I can't remember is he in that faction or no?
I don't know.
But so Sami Callihan's faction is Sami Callihan and two big Ohio farm boys, like fat farm boys. You can tell they were backyarders because they wrestled like it. And the good guys from OVW, Christian, I can't remember if it's Jake Christian or the other kid, other Christian brother. Akira and Raven versus Sami Callihan and the two Boulder brothers. But they're doing some good stuff over there still, in general. I haven't watched a recent episode they dropped. Jacob Fatu, he's still doing his thing of just beating up everybody going everywhere. He's actually wrestling out of MLW back and forth, so he's doing stuff. And him and Ryan Davison of Reality of Wrestling are having their rematch from last year at Summer of Champions. They're supposed to be having it up here soon, and maybe this month or the next month. But that's going to be another bigger match. Reality of Wrestling is actually picking it up again, really good. And then They brought back reality wrestling brought back Roxanne Perez to test the women's division. They're doing stuff back and forth, just sharing the roster with WWE and other people in general. Guy that used to be Mace from what was that stupid faction called? Retribution.
The Maxim Male Models.
Yeah, Maximum Models and Retribution.
Retribution, yeah.
His real name is Brandon Williams. That's where he was when he was in ROW to begin with. He was Shogun of the Row. Now he's back and he's just Mason D. Madden. He pretty much took one of his best friend's last name is Madden. He took his last name. The D it stands for Dio from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He literally comes out to anime music, and it's great. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But him and his former Maxim male model partner
Mansoor
went to Deadlock Pro Wrestling, and they're going to face the Motor City Machine Guns, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. Brandon Williams actually was drafted in the 2013 NFL draft.
Yeah, he played for the Patriots, Jaguars, and the Texans.
He was actually drafted by the Texans, round 3, pick number 89 in 2013. What was that draft? That was the Eric Fisher draft.
Yeah. He was decent. He played enough here and there and everything, but he always wanted to do wrestling. So when obviously, hey, you get passed around a few times and you're not going to start, might as well go do something else at that point. You gotta face the reality.
Yep. This draft did not have a lot of. Well, I'll take that back.
It
had Eric Fisher,
some.
Lane Johnson.
They had some.
Kyle Long.
They had offensive linemen.
DeAndre Hopkins. Zach Ertz, Darius Slay, Geno Smith, Le'Veon Bell, Jamie Collins, Travis Kelce.
Was Geno Smith 2013? Jeez, I thought he was.
Geno Smith was 2013. Yeah. Jamie Collins, Eddie Lacy, Travis Kelce, Tyron Matthew, Keenan Allen, Tyron Armstead, Jordan Reed, Kyle Jessic, Micah Hyde, Latavius Murray, Jordan Poyer. That's it.
But yes, but Deadlock Pro Wrestling is doing a lot of great stuff. Calvin Takeman is their heavyweight champion. I forgot who he's in a feud with right now. I can't remember off the top of my head.
You said Deadlock Pro?
Deadlock Pro Wrestling, yeah.
DPW.
DPW are really good. They have Filthy Tom Lawler there.
Aren't they a Carolina based?
They did a show in Carolina, but I don't think they're Carolina based. I know they just did one in Carolina.
Yeah. They're Carolina based.
Are they really?
Yeah, headquarters are in Concord, North Carolina.
Wow.
We should go check out some shows.
Oh, I would definitely love to go to their shows. They're really good. They have a lot of young guys, but some of them actually know how to wrestle instead of just being another indie guy.
Calvin Tankman is their current heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
Ryan Keith, who we've seen on AEW a couple of times, is their national champion. Speedball Mike Bailey and Jake something are the tag team champions.
They just won the titles.
Won the titles like 8 days ago against from the Motor City Machine Guns.
Yep. And which I think
Mayuki Takase is their women's champion.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure Jake something and Speedball, I think, won their title because of they're calling themselves MXM, Maximum Male Models, formerly. I think they caused the interference or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but I know they're going against the Motor City Machine Guns after the Motor City Machine Guns drops their titles, so they had to have done something with that.
Yeah.
But no, overall, like I said, there's a lot. Deadlock Pro is good. MLW is really good, but they have one shit stain. TNA is also the same way. They got the same shit stain, unfortunately. AEW is probably the worst named brand right now.
We're gonna get flamed by that comment.
Go ahead and fight me. See what happens. I'll give you that Darby Allin treatment. Put you through glass.
Real glass.
Yeah.
Go cry me a river.
I mean, there's a reason that Al Snow said somebody's going to die on this show.
What I think is funny though is that Darby's like, yeah, I want to go do all this stuff. I may die by climbing Everest, and he literally broke his foot to the point where he can't walk. So he's not even gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, he's
So,
postponed his Mount Everest climb.
yeah. But we were going to talk. That's all the rest of the talk. We want to talk about other stuff, but it went a little long, so we can just go ahead and go to our closing statements.
I do apologize.
Yes.
We were reminiscing, telling some stories, and
No, it's fine. I was trying to jam as much stuff in wrestling, but we haven't talked wrestling so long.
it's been a long time since we've talked some wrestling.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I was just saying, we'll probably do a solo like WrestleMania prediction show.
Yes.
Right before the event. That
Have they announced every match yet?
Not every match.
I was looking that up earlier. The only they have some matches announced, but so the only night one match that is for sure is Bloodline versus Cody and Seth, and the only night two matches that are for sure is Cody versus Roman and Seth versus Drew. Everything else is still, we don't know what night it's going to be on, kind of thing.
Well, I thought Becky and Rhea was night one and Bailey Io was night two.
According to what I was reading, that
there's not been settled yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing's been official. Although I think, because you'll want, it's like your world title, it's like your female world title and your men's WWE title on one night, and then your female WWE title and your men's world title on one night. But then again, both heavyweight titles are going to be defended on the same night. So, I really hope it's not a situation if they do a whole lot of preliminary matches that night one, other than the main event between Rock, Roman, Cody, and Seth, and then the second night be just all title matches.
That's basically a preliminary match too.
That's true, but I mean, could you get I don't know, kick it off with a banger? I really think they're probably, chances are they're probably going to kick it off with the that 6-way tag team ladder match that is probably going to end up. Oh
yeah, I forget that they're doing that 6-pack ladder match disaster challenge.
Yeah, but also NXT Stand and Deliver is also going to be another one. Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, they've already set that up. They set up Ilya versus Tony D'Angelo
in a stupid way by kidnapping Ilya.
Yeah, I didn't like the way that. Hell, he was already number one contender. He didn't have to do the whole.
He didn't have to kidnap him,
but he had to turn heel.
Did he though?
Yeah, did he though?
Trick Williams didn't turn heel against Ilya. But no, again, that was a setup means to an end with the whole thing with Carmelo. I get that part.
But yeah, we'll see. We're going to start talking about wrestling more. We have an extra day available now, so we could probably get more into a wrestling talk again. I know a lot of you guys have missed it. And we've missed it some.
We've missed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're probably going to get back into doing wrestling more consistent. So also J. Cole uploaded a Might Delete Later part 2.
Yes.
So I'm going to watch that again.
That.
I am ready for the next Eminem record to drop so we can get back to doing Rap Rewind. And we can get one more Rap Rewind for an Eminem. Technically, we need to do
Kanye West.
No, we still got D12 World to do.
D12 World, yeah.
Yeah, we still got D12 World left to do. And then we'll start on Kanye West. Yeah. You didn't care for D12 World, Chip?
I mean, we did the better of the two albums.
Well, that we did, which was a funny as hell episode. I went back, I listened to it the other day, and I can't remember. I was laughing my ass off.
I don't know, D12. I don't know, D12 World.
D12 World was, it was really good.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know, maybe just I won't say fanfare with it, but I mean, because D12 World came in with some fanfare too. It's just that it wasn't as good as Devil's Night, so people don't consider it a classic or whatever, but they got some damn good. Loyalty was a good song. 40 Ounce was a good song.
How come we don't even talk anymore?
Bro, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Break my dreams and break you down. Even the thing to roll down.
D Twizzy, O Twizzy.
But no, so closing statements. As always, guys, do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know what your guys' WrestleMania predictions are. We'll probably do that next week, and we have more solidification since it'll be a week and a half before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Tell us what wrestling you guys are watching that you're enjoying out there. We don't consider AEW wrestling because it's garbage. They really don't. They've taken guys who are great wrestlers and turned them into trash. Which is
don't get me started on Jay Lethal.
I thought you were going to bring up Edge and Christian.
Hey, speaking of Jay Lethal just had a fucking banger of a match on an indie show with Kevin Ryan.
Yes, shout out to you, Kevin Ryan. Shout out, man. Because here's the thing: when
if
Jay
you have
Lethal,
IWTV,
go ahead.
I was to say if you have IWTV, check it out. It's the name of the promotion. This was their first event. It's Forever Pro.
Forever Pro, yeah.
Yeah.
FPW for pro wrestling.
Yeah. And the main event of the first ever was Jay Lethal versus Kevin Ryan. And holy shit, was it amazing. They went 22 or 23 minutes.
It felt like 25 minutes. If you include entrances, it's like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I think they went like 22 or 23 minutes in ring. Absolute banger. Go check that out. Also on that card was Chris Crunk versus Kyle Matthews in an absolute clinic.
You got Chris Crunk and Kyle Matthews. It's going to be a clinic. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. So
I haven't wrestled both those guys. I can tell you that match was great.
Yeah, so check those out.
Yes.
But yeah, like Roger said, please do not leave without leaving a like, comment, share, and subscribe on Spotify and right here on YouTube. And don't forget to check out all of our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle interviews that'll be dropping throughout the week or have already dropped at the time of this video coming out.
We might have to drop this episode on a Friday because I already posted everything up to Thursday.
Yep.
There you go. That works. Yeah. And also, if you guys want to support Movement Radio, as always, check out streamlabs.com/Movement Radio /merch and go copy some merch. We hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode, whether you enjoyed it for the anime, whether you enjoyed it for the wrestling, whether you enjoyed it for us just, talking about our lives and our weeks, man. We thank you guys so much for all the love and support you guys have been giving us. We deeply appreciate it. We got a lot of cool shit coming up soon. We're going to be making the pilgrimage to Huntsville, Alabama in a couple of weeks to Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo. It's going to be a really fun time. We hope to see you guys there. And as we get closer to that date, we'll give you guys more info about, who's going to be there. We're going to talk a little bit more, chat it up, but yeah. Again, thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'm Talon Williams.
I'm Chip Hazard.
I'm Roger Sierra.
And this is Movement Radio.
God's plan.